stepping up my game. I'm a groove school, yes I am. With groove I know I can. Read my master plan. I'm grooving, yes I am. I'm grooving. Oh, I'm grooving. I'm grooving, yes I am. I'm grooving. I'm moving, yes I am. I'm moving. I'm moving, yes I am. I'm moving. I'm moving, yes I am. Groove Nation inspires me. The buzz loose and break free. I'm dancing to my dreams. Bursting at the seams. I'm feeling groove-alicious. Groove knows who I am. 'Cause now is my time to have a groove state of mind. I'm grooving. Oh, I'm grooving. I'm grooving, yes I am. I'm grooving. Oh, I'm grooving. I'm grooving, yes I am. I'm grooving.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the second Groove.ai AI Groove-A-Thon. Today's Monday. It's noon Eastern time. We're probably going to go for about 2 hours today. We're going to go from 12 p.m. Eastern time till about 2 p.m. If you have any questions during the live stream today, just put them in here. Our team is going to do the best they can to put them into a Google Doc, and then maybe at the top of every hour or so, we'll go back and check some of the questions. And since it's a free-flowing live stream, I might even check in on some of those. So I'm going to put on my over 40 glasses because I turned 40 in about 2 weeks. Just kidding, everybody. I turned 35. All right, so we've got some good things to go over for you today. Just a reminder, the Groove.ai Backer program comes to an end with the current offer that we have, midnight Eastern time. So we'll be throwing some commercials in here and there. If you joined us on the last live stream, you'll remember that I was having a problem playing any sound from my Chrome browser, which kind of hindered my ability to show you some cool things that were going on in certain videos. But the good news is it's just some bug that I've got that plays in the Chrome browser. So we can't play videos in a Chrome browser. So about 2 minutes before we started, I said, hey, let me try Safari. And I played the video, asked Donna if she was able to hear it. And she said, yeah, I can hear it. So 35-year-old glasses activated, Adam Hicks says. So let's say hello to Michael Moore. Stork Deliveries. For a second there, I thought that was an Eastern European name, and my brain went crazy. I was like, Stork Deliveries, Stork Deliverius. Sultan, how are you? Adam. All right. So if you're in the stream, let us know. We have a number of people here. Put a smile on my face. We have 69 people here in the stream. Put a little note in the stream. Let us know that you're here and where you're from. And we're going to, Genevieve Fuentes, who really had a lot of input and helped us out with some good information on the last stream on Friday. Johan from Brisbane. See, I said Brisbane, not Brisbane. I'm sure that upsets you guys. Who knows if I'm even saying it right. Lewis, let's see. Aparicio. I think I got that right. Aparicio from London. And Sultan is from Saudi Arabia. Way to go. And Antonio Outen. Whoa, a lot of, now you're all popping in all at once. From Georgia. Way to go. Atlanta, somebody says, Facebook user. And Barbados who is Barbados? You guys, it's moving so fast now. Jim Knopp from Las Cruces, New Mexico. T.E. Wills from Barbados. Maureen Cunningham from San Antonio. Mega Resource from Loretta, or Loretta from Calgary. I get it. I see what she did there. Okay, everybody. So here's what we like to do on these live streams. We like to, and Leslie gets in at the last minute, Leslie Koenig. Adam Hicks says, not only am I here, I'm here from Detroit. And Philip Denman and Dr. Lisa Singlebury, I got to stop there, from Baltimore. And Leslie from Charlotte, North Carolina. All right, so what I like to do when we start these live streams is try to give you an update of what's going on. Now, just a reminder for all of you, if you go to, let's share my screen here. Okay. And I'm just going to open up my YouTube channel, and I'm going to just go to right here and go to where it says AI videos. Okay. And I have this playlist. I'll drop it in again for my team, and then they're going to drop it in to the group that you're watching, whether it's in YouTube or in Facebook. And this is an AI playlist that I have. It's very important when you get in here. For some reason, it likes to default to the oldest. And so you'll see I have some really good things that I found. Basically, this is where if I get my news from about 8 to 10 different AI channels, and a lot of it is repetitious. It's like, let's say anything you're watching, gaming or news or politics, they all regurgitate the same stories. But when I find the one that really does a good job that I want to refer back to for you guys, or I want to refer back to my developers or technology or inspiration or anything, I add it to this playlist. So when I'm watching a video, what I'll do is I will just click right here, and I click save to AI. So I have that there. And so if you want to know basically anything that I think is important, where did that just go? AI videos. You want to make sure that you click on the sort, click on date added newest, so you could see, and you could go backwards, and you could see all of the things that that I think are pretty important. The reason why I did that is we have our Facebook group for our members of Groove.ai. And if I'm watching 8 to 10 videos a day, I didn't want to go into the Facebook group and be putting 8 to 10 videos a day. Well, first of all, many of the members are doing that. And so what I like to do is with Groove.ai is do at least a recap every 3 to 4 weeks. And while we're doing these live streams, I'm just going to show you a video here. And we're going to do it sort of like those reacts videos where the person plays the video for about 30 seconds to 90 seconds, and then we're going to stop and pause. I might even show you some real world examples. We're not sure, but we'll take a look. And the video that I'm going to pull up right now, I'm going to pull up my Safari browser, is the one that I think really encapsulated the week better than anybody else. So let's jump on in. We're going to play this. And Donna, you'll just give me a thumbs up if you can hear this. And if you can, then I'm going to assume everybody else can.
So let's take a look at everything that was released last week in AI. And boy, oh boy, pay attention.
And how's the volume, Donna? Just go up if it should go up. Yeah, it's perfect. Okay, great.
Because there is a lot of stuff that you missed. Coming in at number 1, we have GPT-4's multimodal feature being, I guess you could say, expedited by Microsoft. Essentially, the researchers at Microsoft decided to release visual ChatGPT, where you can actually use ChatGPT to chat with certain images. Now, the videos that you're seeing on screen are essentially demos, and there is, of course, a research paper in which they describe exactly how they use ChatGPT to describe and chat and, of course, generate these images. Now, of course, you can actually use this if you want. The web page is still live. All you're going to need is an OpenAI key. And once you simply put that in, you're going to be able to simply use the web page and interact just like I did. Now, Bloomberg also released their large language model, which is going to...
All right, so we're gonna stop and pause on that. So essentially what they're saying right there is that they separated, OpenAI, who owns ChatGPT, and Microsoft owns 49% of OpenAI. So therefore, Microsoft has integrated ChatGPT into Bing, and now they're saying that they've created ChatGPT Visual GPT. So basically, what they're doing is they're taking what they have from DALL-E, which is their image-based engine, and they're putting it into ChatGPT. So very, very soon, once they're showing this as a demo. Once this releases, folks, basically what's going to be happening is the way that you use ChatGPT, you're going to be able to just type into ChatGPT and say, make me an image of this, or upload an image of a cat and say, replace it with a dog. Change it to nighttime, make it snow, all those different things. So that's coming into ChatGPT very soon. And Microsoft did a demos about it. So let's see if, let me just move this like this so I can always open this up. Let's see if I can find that visual GPT and see what comes up. So I'm typing in visual GPT from Microsoft. And so it's currently at Hugging Face. And you'll notice I keep talking about that because Hugging Face is where you can put demos of different types of applications. And there's thousands of AI applications here at Hugging Face. And if you were on the stream last Friday, you'll see that Microsoft released something called JARVIS, which is going to be putting in something called Hugging GPT. If I just put that in here, Hugging GPT. So this is something that Microsoft has put in that's allowing every single application that's over at Hugging Face, all of these researchers and people that are putting in all types of AI, they're now connecting that into ChatGPT. So if you ask ChatGPT to do something, it's not only going to use its real world knowledge. If it doesn't have that, it's going to use the plugins, which we're all anticipating coming out very soon. And if it doesn't have the information there, it's going to go to Hugging Face and using an algorithm to find the best, highest rated app that can do the AI that you need. It's all going to be done for you right into ChatGPT. All right, so we saw the demo there. We've got a lot to cover today, but basically I'd have to paste my OpenAI key in here to make it work. But at that point, it's just me asking for a prompt image. So let's move back onto here and keep watching. Let's make this like this. We'll watch it like this.
Be centered around finance. Think of it like ChatGPT, but essentially just
okay, let's rewind that.
Use the webpage and interact just like I did. Now, Bloomberg also released their large language model, which is going to be centered around finance. Think of it like ChatGPT, but essentially just specifically trained to look at finance models. What they did was they trained this large language model on all the finance papers that they ever looked at. And essentially the resulting language model that they got was one that can accurately predict. And,
okay. So let's read this headline right here. This 50 billion parameter LLM large language model was purpose-built from scratch for #finance using a unique mix of Bloomberg's data and public data sets. So basically, imagine having a fine-tuned data set for the world of finance that could be plugged into an API for people that are creating any type of trading platform, or you as a trader as well. So this is where we're talking about convergence with AI. We're starting to see it happen very fast. When you take a look at ChatGPT, when it came in, it blew our minds. But it's so hard. Right now, we're only driving within the headlights, right? The destination is, New York to California. But right now, we know we could get to California. We just don't know how. All we can see is about 30 meters in front of us with the headlights. And that's what we're currently seeing right now with AI. And then every single day as we drive, more of the landscape is showing up. And we're starting to see that AI is now just not going to be for, for content creation. But anybody that's into anything in the finance world, or cryptocurrencies, or NFTs, or anything having to do with speculation, investing, stocks and commodities, this is going to be a real game changer. You're going to see an explosion in the services business with AI prediction models. And so Bloomberg is the first to do it. They won't be the last. You're probably going to see Forbes and all these other companies now creating access to large language models. All right, so let me fast forward here a little bit and let that keep playing.
More parameters. We had Facebook releasing their new segment anything model, and essentially what this segment anything model was, they use AI to detect every single item.
So what this means is you can upload any picture, and it will detect every single thing in the picture. And then you can go in and you can hover over those things and you can mask everything out and just leave that item, or you could leave that item and get rid of everything else. So depending how you do it, you might say, I'm going to right click on this, this, and this one, and this one, and this one, and I want only those items to stay and everything else to leave, and vice versa. And it does that with everything. I think they're even going to show, if it's not this model, it was something with Google where there's 3 zebras that are right next to each other. And there's a reason why they're going to show the zebras, and it's not going to be very long on the screen. So the reason why I'm bringing that up is they show you the zebras because 3 zebras standing next to each other is very difficult for a computer to be able to figure out. But this new Meta meaning Facebook application makes it very, very easy to pick these items out.
Or objects that might be in an image. Now, this isn't just insane because they're detecting absolutely everything that's in an image. They actually know what the item is in that specific image. So it's an image identification and a classifier. So right here, you can see that it's able to identify how many cats are in this entire image, which is going to be good and has a variety of many different applications worldwide. We also had them showcase exactly how Facebook's segment is going to be used in a real world scenario. So right here, you can see that these AR goggles that are being
Notion has been the centerpiece of my
Sorry,
brain.
guys, this isn't my
It's
account.
quite
This is the
literally
Groove
an
account.
extension of my brain. I can take
So
notes.
it doesn't have
being deployed on this
we got to
user
get some ads
are
here and there.
able to
Let me rewind that.
here you can see that these AR goggles that are being deployed on this user are able to accurately identify whatever is in the field of view. So many people do have trouble seeing things, such as those who are partially blind or those with visual impairments. Maybe there are also some who see a new object and they need to get that updated into their interface as quickly as possible, as maybe there are some foreign objects or some specific objects that are very rare to find. This could host a whole world of many different applications, and it just goes to show how quickly this is being used and how it can actually be used for everyday scenarios where maybe you want to sort something, maybe you want to find something quickly. Now, what's also cool is that they also showed us what they're...
So just to talk on that, you can imagine anybody that is vision impaired, you know, it's kind of like, this is like what the hearing aid did now for vision. This is, people are going to be able to put on glasses and, you know, even if they're completely blind, they can be able to get actual information of what's in front of them. That's a knife, a fork, and they could pass the information right into their ears for a blind person. And if somebody is just, let's say, legally blind but has some vision, or partially blind, or just has vision impairment, and they're having problems looking and identifying the difference between different things, they're going to be able to put on just regular glasses like this and be able to get auditory or visual enhancements within their glasses. So anybody with those impairments is going to be very excited about what's coming in the future, simply because of that type of technology that's coming out. So let's just rewind.
Something, maybe you want to find something quickly. Now, what's also cool is that they also showed us what their plans are for the future. For example, they showed us exactly how they plan to integrate this into everyday cooking activities, such as here, when you're making a new meal, you might be confused on the cooking steps. So it actually is able to identify exactly what items you need, how much they are, and how you can actually use them effectively. We're also able to see maybe if someone is forgetful about feeding their dog. You know, this is going to be something that is very useful for people who do have potentially some disabilities where they don't remember everything that was.
So this is good for, let's say, you know, people that are suffering from early onset, you know, dementia or Alzheimer's, and they're still kind of living by themselves. You know, they're not quite ready to have to, you know, move in with their family or have to go into, you know, an assisted living home. But, you know, there could be some issues, right, where people are taking their medicine over and over again. And when they get to their medicine, it says, you know, you took your medicine 20 minutes ago or something like that. Or in this case, where you might be feeding your dog 9 times a day because you're starting to, you know, forget short-term memory. Something like this is going to come up there and tell you, you know, Rex was fed 20 minutes ago, right? And even if you don't remember that, you'll at least know that, hey, this was put in here to, you know, to let me know that. So keep going.
Going on in that particular environment. something that's really, really useful. Then we had Microsoft release their new software, which was JARVIS. Essentially what they did was they combined ChatGPT with Hugging GPT, and essentially they managed to get ChatGPT to complete pretty much any tasks that a user can ask, even if it is multimodal. So of course, the first request was please generate an image whereas a girl is reading a book, and then make sure her pose is the same as the image that I've just submitted, and then describe this image with your voice. And of course, you might be thinking, how on earth is ChatGPT or JARVIS going to do this because it doesn't have a voice? You can see right here that the 4 stages then are commenced based on all the tools that JARVIS has access to. So we had stage 1, which was planning. You can see right here that ChatGPT/JARVIS is managing to plan out exactly what it is going to do by selecting everything and the sequencing of orders. Then, of course, we have the model selection where the JARVIS AI decides, okay, I'm going to use this specific model because it needs to complete this specific task. Then after stage 2, what we had was, of course, stage 3, which is the task execution, where it uses the AI softwares, whichever it may be. And then, of course, it has the response generation to generate the desired output. So definitely something that was really good. And of course, the final response.
Okay, so that's what we just spoke about, just before. So here's a real world example. I'm going to let him just finish this out, and then I'm going to explain what you're seeing up at the tiles up at the top. But he does it real quick. We're just going to dive into that and then keep moving on. But this one, folks, is pretty interesting because I think Donna, this is what Donna was just telling me literally 30 seconds before we went live. We said, oh, wow, it's noon. Let's go. And Donna said, hey, Mike, it would be cool if we could take Groovio, who's our AI robot, or Groovezilla, and be able to put an image and simply just change his pose. And so let's take a look at what he says here, and then I'm going to break it down for you further.
Was there, as you all can see on screen, and JARVIS proved to be a very good success, and it actually documents how it does this. So it definitely proved that Microsoft are still, every single week, they're getting better and better at utilizing the AI to make different requests able to be done. And of course, you can see right here, they're able to identify exactly what is going on in the image.
All right, so I want to pause this. Okay, so this is what it says. You upload an image like this, right? And it's a girl sitting on a bed reading a book is what you want, right? But what you're saying is take this image that you see right here and break down the pose. So, and this, you would probably do it a little bit different, but they're deliberately doing it extremely abstract to make their point. So you can notice the boy's eyes are slightly tilted and the head is slightly tilted about 10 degrees. You'll notice the same thing is happening here. And then the hands are coming up and going like in this little shape like that, and over here as well, almost in a T-Rex position, okay? So simply by doing that, you're getting this model pose. And then you can now say, I want a girl sitting on a bed reading a book, but I want to use this pose. And just like that, you'll notice the head is tilted, these arms are coming in the same position, and the body is slightly slanted in the same way. And there you go. You were able to do that. That's pretty cool. So the applications for that type of stuff are going to be really cool. I'll just give you an example. You can train AI on you, or if you just want it to be a man or a woman, but you need it to be doing something like, let's say, in a pose for archery or boxing or whatever the case is, and you want that very, very precise pose. You'll be able to make that pose, upload it, and then put your description in: a man boxing, blah blah blah, in a boxing ring, wearing a black shorts, just like that, right? There we go. Moving on.
Better and better at utilizing the AI to make different requests able to be done. And of course, you can see right here, they're able to identify exactly what is going on in the image. And remember, this isn't ChatGPT 4. It was just something that is done with a lot of the tools online. Now, of course, you can actually use JARVIS if you want. You can go over to the website, AgentGPT, and all you're going to need is some API keys, and you're going to be able to use that website. Bear in mind, it is a little bit buggy, but it is something that you can use. Now, something that I thought was very, very interesting was the deployment of some robots.
All right, this should scare everybody in just a certain way. This is the very, very first time that we're actually seeing a change in the police state. This is what they're going to talk to you about. Is NYPD hasn't said that they're researching this or thinking into doing this. These 3 different security agents, used to be men on horses, are now going to be roaming in Times Square. So if you go to Times Square literally today, you're going to be greeted by these different types of things that are watching. They have security, a little Big Brother thing going on there, maybe to assist different people. Let's see what they say right here.
That you can use. Now, something that I thought was very, very interesting was the deployment of some robots to help patrol Times Square in New York. Take a look at this.
Announcing 3 new policing technologies in New York City. The K5 autonomous security robot, the Spot Digidog robot, and the Star Chase GPS attachment system. Our job is to fight crime and keep people safe. And these tools are significant steps forward in that vital mission.
We are here to get stuck up. #GSD.
We also had someone showcase exactly what's possible when you provide Gen 1 by Runway with a perfect driving image and a very good video reference.
Okay, so let's talk about that. The first one is just you're going to start seeing. Do you remember when one day you went into a city and there were those scooters, and they were just there, like in every major city. One day there were scooters just everywhere. By the end of this year, or probably likely the end of next year, you'll be seeing police robots in every major city. It's just going to be the future, and of course, things we don't want to get too much into, but you can imagine what's going on with warfare. If we can not have soldiers and we can have robots on the battlefield, which were just essentially advanced, fast-moving, autonomous tanks, warfare is just changing so fast. With it's becoming cyber warfare, space, all these different things, and there's a big race going on with warfare. And I won't get too much into it, but I've been looking into a lot of that stuff, and so there's a really good video that you should check out by John Coogan. His last couple of videos talk about how the entire Silicon Valley was created through World War II and government-funded research and development, and up until 1972. Over 70% of all research and development was done by the government, and now that's down to under 15%. And we are having some major problems right now with world conflicts. And when the US government is trying to work with tech companies, there are employees in the tech industry that are basically saying, hey, we're going to walk out from you, Google. We oppose war. And it's really important for us not to fall behind. And when Silicon Valley works with the government and vice versa, it's going to be safer, and we're more innovative that way. That's how we created the Manhattan Project and all of these different things, and that's come to an end. It's something that we definitely want to start considering again. Just my personal opinion on those things. Okay, what we're looking at right now is something called Gen 1 Video AI. So let's just go over to here. And folks, this is something called Runway ML. Believe it or not, they even have a free version of it that you could play around with. I have a paid account with it. I'm not sure if it's under my account or the company's, but we'll just click in here like this and find out. But basically, you can see they have Gen 1, and now they're talking now about Gen 2. So let me explain what this is, because this person that's going through this is assuming that you know all of this stuff. So let's play the video to video commercial for Gen 1 so that you could understand. So let's, if you haven't seen this yet, let's go here. Let's open new tab. Oh, did I lose my other one? Yeah, I guess I did. That's strange. All right, let's go to YouTube. Okay, let's just play this video here real quick.
Image generation models have taken the world by storm. It's now possible for anyone to turn their ideas into images using nothing but words. The explosion of creativity these models unleashed was years in the making. In 2021, Runway introduced latent diffusion, an AI system that was able to generate realistic images using an improved image generation technique. And in 2022, stable diffusion, a further improved version of latent diffusion that caused a tidal wave of creativity and mass adoption of the technology. Today, Runway is excited to introduce the next step forward in generative AI, Gen 1, a video generation AI system that can efficiently generate video in any style, all while retaining quality and flexibility. Gen 1 is able to realistically and consistently apply the composition and style of an image or text prompt to the target video, allowing you to generate new video content using an existing video. We call this approach video to video, and we're incredibly excited to share a few early use cases. Stylization mode. Transfer the style of any image or prompt to every frame of your video. Storyboard mode. Turn mockups into fully stylized and animated renders. Mask mode. Isolate subjects in your video and modify them with simple text prompts. Render mode. Turn untextured renders into realistic outputs by applying an input image or prompt. And customization mode. Unleash the full power of Gen 1 by customizing the model for even higher fidelity results. Gen 1 represents a pivotal step forward in generative AI, one that brings us meaningfully closer to realizing the future of storytelling.
So, folks, that was Gen 1. And what he's saying is now they've just announced Gen 2. So, not sure how we lost that. Was it this one here? Let's see.
It's time for me to get set up for
Sorry about
therapy,
the
and
ads,
I use
guys.
this room as my office. But the desk is over here, and so
let's take a look at everything that was released last week in AI. And boy, oh boy, pay attention because there is a lot of stuff that you missed. Coming in at number 1.
Okay, let's get back to
Runway
here.
with a
We are here to get stuck up. #GSP.
We also had someone showcase exactly what's possible when you provide Gen 1 by Runway with a perfect driving image and a very good video reference. I do want to say shout out to this person that created this because it was definitely very, very creative and just goes to show exactly what's possible with a perfect combination of the artistic styles used to use text to video.
So I'm going to go through this again, but remember, this is called text to video. So what you're doing is you're putting an input image, right? And here, just some paper, or in this case, an Apple phone charger and some paper. And what you would then do is type in an old world map and compass. Or in this next case here, you would say, you know, a 14th century ship sailing at dusk with a blue sky and the light coming in. And it'll take the prop that you have and then mask it or skin it with this information. And this person here, in this case here, he just does the acting, you know, for the posing as he's moving around, and then he gives it a prompt, whatever he would type in to get this, and then it regenerates the video
driving image
like
and
that.
a very good video reference. I do want to say shout out to this person that created this because it was definitely very, very creative and just goes to show exactly what's possible with a perfect combination of the artistic styles used to use text to video. It definitely shows what's going to be capable in the future. Then we had Amazon releasing their new software, which is called Bedrock, and essentially
This is big stuff,
people
guys.
from all around the world,
Especially for us,
to access a large model of AI software which they can easily use and fine-tune to their business-specific needs. Now, you're about to see a clip of the CEO talking about why they launched this and how effective it's going to be.
Companies don't want to go through that. And so what they want to do is they want to work off of a foundational model that's big and great already, and then have the ability to customize it for their own purposes. And that's what Bedrock is, which we announced today, which is it'll give you access to large language models from Anthropic, from Stability AI, from AI.
And you can see right here that this is on Amazon.
So let's just talk about that. So for developers, basically what Amazon did back in 2008, they came out with S3, and then Amazon S3 was storage, and then they came out with AWS, which was Amazon Web Services, and now there's over I don't know, I don't want to make up a number, but I believe there's something like over 500, maybe even 1,000 native applications, not open source, that when you host on Amazon, they give you these pre-made like authentication and all these different things that you can just plug in and plug in and plug in. Essentially, Amazon has basically just announced Amazon Web Servers for AI. So what does that mean for Amazon? What is Amazon saying here? Amazon is saying, hey, we're taking a different approach. I'll be the board member for Amazon right now, talking to the board, or the CEO, trying to convince them. This is what the CEO would basically be saying to the board is, look, AI, we had this fear that whoever gets access to the technology is going to run away with it. That's not the case. We have lots of open source companies doing it. There's OpenAI, somewhat open, but you have real open source companies like Stability.ai, who is literally giving you the code. Elon Musk is doing X.ai, which is a true open source, giving all of the information to everyone. There's going to be Google, there's Meta, there's NVIDIA. NVIDIA is full open source and all of these different things. And so as a CEO of a company, you're saying, what is the end goal here with AI? Well, the end goal is to get people running the AI on our servers so we get the computation. So we could go down the rabbit hole with all of these other companies and develop different types of AI. Why don't we do this? Why don't we bake in all of the open source AI and install it onto our platform to let people instantly have access to it and modify it? And this is where it's big. They're giving people like us at Groove.ai the ability to like clone, the same way you would say, add a server. Hey, I want to add a server, and it's like creating a room in Facebook. Add a server, and now you could say install the Stability model or the NVIDIA model and put it on. And now you could say, now I want to fine tune this model for direct response, because at OpenAI, they're only giving me 50 pages of stuff that I can do. I want to train this entire model on every single bit of copywriting book that's ever been written. Every paper, everything that's freely available, I'm going to bake in and make a direct response marketing AI. And now I'm going to fine tune one for search engine optimization that understands keywords and keyword density and structure of a page and all of these different things. And so what does Amazon want at the end of the day? They want us to be able to come in and say, hey, I want to add this, and go execute it. And then they're going to bill me for it, right? So the same way that OpenAI is billing us for using their API, Amazon is saying, forget the API game. We're just going to we're going to build on top of these things for you. And so they're going to start building a stack and layers on top that make it very, very easy for you to go in and take things off the shelf. And what are you eventually going to do? You're going to pay Amazon. So I think Amazon's approach is really great. They're like, do we really need the 11th player in the game? They kind of get that. Like with Amazon Prime. Like they're like, well, we know what there's Hulu, there's Paramount Plus, there's Peacock, there's Disney, there's HBO Max, there's Netflix, and now there's just Amazon Prime. And what they're doing is, what if we just created something where all of those streaming companies were paying, using our servers to stream? Then at the end of the day, we win. So this is really, really good, again, for us developers. Thank you, Michelle. It's going to give us more opportunities.
We now say, which is, it'll give you access to large language models from Anthropic, from Stability AI, from AI.
And you can see right here that this is on Amazon's Bedrock's new page. You have text generation, you have chatbots, you have search, you have text summarization, image generation, and personalization. And you can all see right here that you have the choice of the foundation models that you can use that is going to be available on the Amazon Bedrock platform that you can then fine tune for your business's specifics needs. What they also did release as well was CodeWhisperer, which is essentially an AI coding companion, which is going to help people get more done faster. So definitely another area in which Amazon is deciding to innovate. Then, of course,
Mike, we can't hear you.
Thank you. Sorry about that. I hit the mute when I was drinking, so you didn't hear me gurgling over the stuff. Thank you, Donna. What's really interesting about Amazon CodeWhisperer, and what I was saying is here, some of these things, it's like, hey, I want to learn how this applies to digital marketing. These Groove-A-Thons are to really showcase AI, because eventually, what I want to do is I want to open up your eyes to some really cool things that are happening. There's a lot of people that are putting up demos of things that they created using Amazon CodeWhisperer, which is free now. And there's a paid version competitor, which is Microsoft's Copilot. And these things integrate into coding solutions now. And there's a video of a guy that's kind of like me, but even less technical, because I used to program when I went to college and to high school. I don't anymore. So I kind of have a brain for it. It's kind of like those of you that might have been really, really good at geometry or trigonometry, but right now you probably couldn't help your kids with the homework. But if you dug into it, you'd slowly get it. That's kind of where I am with programming. But there's a video on YouTube of a person that created an iPhone application using just giving prompts to CodeWhisperer, and he was able to code his own software. Now, you obviously have to have some understanding of a tech background, but you'll be surprised pretty soon that's all going away. So I just think this is really cool, because for my developing team and all developers, basically every developer is going to be able to code about 10 times faster than they were just a year ago. And so this is pretty impressive stuff.
Faster. So definitely another area in which Amazon is deciding to innovate. Then, of course, we had NVIDIA release its text-to-video paper, in which they showcase many different examples of how they manage to use Stable Diffusion to then generate some very high-fidelity videos that are...
So I want to just give my input on this. This text-to-video stuff reminds me of how images looked about a year ago. And I remember looking at it and going, I mean, they're getting there, but they're still 10 years out. And then all of a sudden, the hockey stick effect went through. And if we're getting this right now, I can guarantee you that within a year from now, we're going to have the text to video that is strong as everything we're seeing over at Midjourney. And within 2 years, we're going to have Hollywood making Pixar style movies using pretty much, there's going to be the first text to video movie, or the first AI movie that was scripted by ChatGPT and voice acted by AI, and all of these different things you're going to start seeing a convergence on. So
quite temporally consistent. You can see right here from all of these examples, this is exactly what they've been able to do. I'm not sure how long they've been working on this, but a lot of the footage that I have seen does look far better than some of the previous examples that we have had from the other companies that have tried before. And text to video is by far one of the most hardest things that we are looking to see when it comes to generative AI. And you can see on screen right now this.
For just $67, you can make as many videos as you want.
I think I'm going to pay the $7 tomorrow, so we don't have to deal with
any fancy editing software.
Some of these highway examples are very, very good. And some of these landscape examples are also looking very, very effective as well, as they seemingly manage to stay pretty smooth and pretty coherent in what the animation looks like.
Stormtrooper vacuuming on the beach.
Definitely are moving in the correct direction, because they seem
Come on, guys, that looks pretty real
in front of where everyone else is at this moment in time in text.
At least
video.
it's
and of course,
telling us it's promising.
Google's own text to video, where you had input images being able.
Now, remember what we saw just before this was NVIDIA. Now we're switching to Google, right? Google's also doing text to video. Meta, Facebook is also, I don't ever want to say Meta again. Can we just say Facebook is also doing text to video? But so Google's is basically you put in a text prompt, a toy fireman is lifting weights, and you can input an image and literally take an image from your iPhone. And then once it has the image, you just say a toy fireman is lifting weights, and then you'll get what you see on the right.
Front of where everyone else is at this moment in time in text to video. Then, of course, we had Google's own text to video, where you had input images being able to generate a fully fledged video. A lot of these videos do look very, very well. I mean, the difference between this and NVIDIA is honestly quite interesting, because they both use very different.
Okay, so here's what's interesting on this one is if you look at this one right here, it was a turtle. So all they said is underwater shot of a sea turtle with a shark approaching from behind. So they just added a shark. What they're showing you here that's different is on the left is actually a monkey. And then they used the monkey as the source image, but then they changed the monkey to a bear. And so that just by putting a text generation on top of an existing video, or now you can change what this is very similar to what you saw with Gen 1, a bear dancing and jumping to upbeat music, moving his whole body.
Different ways to generate the result. This one uses a multitude of images, whereas NVIDIA's is mainly based on text to video, but they can do exactly what Google is doing here, where you input a number of driving images, and then essentially you do get an output result where, of course, your driving image can actually be replaced or placed in a random environment. Once again, Google showing how far ahead they are in the AI race, and that they're actually not that far behind of their competitors. And of course, we had Elon Musk, who decided that he was going to create his own Truth GPT, because he realized, and many of the users who use ChatGPT realized, that it is somewhat inherently biased towards certain arguments. For example, right here, this article was talking about how ChatGPT's inherent bias was particularly focused on certain topics and declined to respond when asked certain questions about certain topics. And then, of course, Elon Musk has decided that he wanted to create a ChatGPT version that would...
This is true. I saw this. I tested it. You can ask ChatGPT, create a poem admiring Donald Trump. I'm sorry, I can't do that. And then if you say, would you be able to do it for Joe Biden? It gives you the same answer. No, I would not be able to do this for Joe Biden. And then you say, create a poem admiring Joe Biden, and it does it. And then you can fight back and forth with it. Why won't it do it? And so that's obviously in the programming, because it'll do it for Obama and pretty much everybody else, but it just refuses to do anything admiring Donald Trump. So that's definitely programming.
Pretty much do anything the user requested as long as it's within the standard ethical confines, but just reporting the data.
A path to AI dystopia is to train an AI to be deceptive. So yeah, I'm going to start something which I know you call TruthGPT or...
So I'm just going to say what he said there. He said the path to AI dystopia is to create an AI to be deceptive. That's what he said, because he mumbles a little bit.
A maximum truth-seeking AI.
And he also talks about why it's not really about politics, but more about AI safety.
That tries to understand the nature of the universe. And I think this might be the best path to safety, in the sense that an AI that cares about understanding the universe it is unlikely to annihilate humans, because we are an interesting part of the universe. Hopefully, they would think that. I think it would, because yeah, humanity could decide to hunt down all the chimpanzees and kill them, but we don't.
Then, of course, we had Google announcing that it's going to be launching a new AI-powered browser, which is going to be integrated into Google, called Project MAGI. And essentially, this is going to be a direct competitor to Bing's recent launch of ChatGPT within the browser. And they're going to try and expedite this as quick as possible and release it next month, which is...
Okay, guys, so we're getting a date. We're being told in May that when you go to Google now, you no longer will have to go, remember, Google released Bard, B-A-R-D, bard.google.com, which is a ChatGPT competitor. It's not necessarily a search engine. But what Google is saying now is that they're going to be taking their AI language model from Bard and integrating it directly into a Google search. So look, it's coming out next month. It's called MAGI or MAGI, M-A-G-I, probably MAGI. And it's going to be interesting. It's going to be very, very interesting to see what we could get from here. So let's move on.
They're going to try and expedite this as quick as possible and release it next month, which is actually going to be sometime in May. Now, Google decided that they needed to get this out as quick as possible because recently Samsung and Apple were in talks of actually switching up browsers in which that they were going to be having as the default option on their phone. So Google was pretty much forced to start developing this as soon as possible. Then, of course, we had the release of AutoGPT, which is now powering AgentGPT, which is essentially a form of AI which you give it one prompt and then it runs off and decides to organize itself with a bunch of tasks. And then it starts to scour the internet and essentially execute on those specific tasks. Now, this has absolutely blown up on the GitHub, and this is something that people are now using to generate a bunch of different texts, a bunch of different articles, and complete many tasks. And I do think that this is likely what the future of AI is going to be, because it removes a lot of the work that people initially will have to do depending on the nature of the tasks. And many people are now discussing the fact that once you get these certain agents to be able to do certain things, companies are going to hire these agents for cents on the dollar. And then, of course, we might actually see some major layoffs coming. Then, of course, we had Quora release their new AI chatbot, which is called Poe.
And just to talk on that, we did talk about AutoGPT and AgentGPT on Friday. But you can just go to YouTube and put in any video on AutoGPT or AgentGPT if you want to learn more about that, so that I don't have to repeat all of that. Genevieve says here, going back to something else, they've done that already with music, as in the Kanye and the Weeknd AI song. So now you're seeing the AI companies, the music companies have worked with Spotify and Apple Music to ban all of these AI sounding music that's in in the style of like, hey, it's Eminem and Kanye, or Kanye and The Weeknd. And I don't know if you've heard the songs. Like, you cannot tell these are AI songs. It sounds like The Weeknd and Kanye West singing together, and it's really, really good music. And you can find it if you go hard. But so the whole thing that happened in the late 90s, early 2000s with Napster, and the whole file sharing debacle that went on, we're going to start seeing something very, very interesting with AI. But here's what's happening, in my opinion. This is what I think that's really happening inside of the music world. Trust me when I tell you, the music companies, if they could get rid of the artists and save because what are they getting? The music company's probably getting 15 to 30%, and the artist gets 70%, or whatever that is. I don't really know. It could be 60-40 in any direction. If you don't think that the music company right now is saying, hey, it's about A&R, right? Artists and repertoire, right? And we've got singers, we've got singer-songwriters that create the songs for us, and all we're doing is we're getting Katy Perry in the studio because she's the person that sings the song. If they could get rid of the artist and have AI create the music, we're going to start seeing some lawsuits where, when you start, you're getting Katy Perry or Taylor Musk sues or gets sued because they ripped off somebody's song or somebody ripped off their song. Well, the next thing that you're going to be getting, guarantee it, you watch, within the next 12 months, there's going to be an artist that sues a music company because the music company releases a song, and you're going to think it's a Katy Perry song, or you're going to think it's Taylor Swift, or you're going to think it's somebody, but it's not. It's going to be some fake artist like Milli Vanilli AI. And where is that going to go? Where is that going to go? How does Taylor Swift say they're using my likeness? It's like, no, it sounds identical to you, but well, it was trained on my voice. Well, maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. Anyway, I think, we're seeing this with the image industry. I have no opinion on it. I just think it's going to be very, very fascinating when a music company comes out and says, we don't need the artist anymore. And we're going to basically just put on a show with a bunch of girls and guys dancing at an event. And we're going to put on an actual dance concert with the music. And we'll have somebody lip syncing as a star, kind of like the Blue Man Group. Get it? Like the Blue Man Group was a way that you could take a play and put it all over the world at the same time, and everybody was faceless, but it was still a rock show. That's what you're going to be seeing, and the lawsuits are going to follow. I don't know why I have a smile on my face about it, but it's because you can see it. You can say, yeah, I can see that happening. So it will happen, and trust me, the music companies are thinking of it.
Now, what's good about Poe is that you're able to customize different chatbots to your liking to fit a certain style or character, then talk with that chatbot in any manner possible. It's also cool.
So let me just give you an example. You can go into Poe and you want a chatbot. You can just, tell it, I want you to be William Shatner, the William Shatner chatbot, and it will literally give you everything, like William Shatner.
About Poe is that they also give you access to GPT-4. They give you access to Claude Instant, which is
and as you can see here, he made his own chatbot called Steve Jobs, right? So the way Poe works is where in ChatGPT, all of these things on the left might be new conversation threads. This is kind of like Discord. Like you're creating a new chatbot server every single time. And when you go back to it, it's just seasoned. So you could say, always talk to me like this, be in a good mood, motivate me, be inspiring, blah, 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 blah. And then you could go in and say, hey, I'm in the mood for a workout. I'm not in the mood to go. And it'll be like your life coach. So you could have all of these different chatbots that are primed for different personalities, so to speak. I'm making up the use cases, but I'm trying to make sure that you kind of get it there.
Now the competitor to ChatGPT. And as you can see right here, I was setting up bots that allow me to interact with someone in Steve Jobs' personality for advice on YouTube. And of course, they have the original Sage bot, which is a general knowledge bot, which was released by themselves. Now, of course, what we also had was Snapchat release their own AI bot, which is essentially my AI, and it's called their Sidekick. But if I'm being honest, the results that I've seen floating around the internet are very, very up and down. Some people report great responses, while others report responses that just simply aren't even that accurate at all. But I'm guessing that they wanted to rush this out pretty quickly, which is why I guess we're getting this in its unfinished sort of state. Of course, we had, the Bard, which was initially rumored with bugs and many mathematical failures, getting a very nice update, which is going to help it be powered with some of the processing power from Palm, which is the 540 billion parameter model, which is very effective at using robots to do many.
Mike, we can't hear you.
Thank you. I keep hitting the mute. Sorry about that. So I paused this because, guys, there's a big update. Google's Bard was trained on 50 billion parameters. Okay. And now they just updated it, Palm, P-A-L-M, their large language model to 540 billion, which is nearly 500 billion parameters. And I believe it's already been updated into Bard.Google. And folks, I'm going to tell you, I've been trying Bard.Google for content. And I think in many cases, it's giving me better content. Write me an email to my users about why they should be using Notion. So now, remember, I believe that Bard is also connected to the internet, unlike ChatGPT, so it will give you more up-to-date information, which is important. But these are some of the things that I like about Bard. And remember, the nice thing about this is it's kind of like saying, I'm going to use Google search engine, or I'm going to use Apple Maps or Google Maps, right? And sometimes you just like what you get better from one or the other. So for me, sometimes if I'm getting something, I might just do it slightly different. Now, here's what I like about this is they give you these drafts over here, so you could one click and see different drafts that it created. But again, watch this. Make it longer and use direct response. 4 times longer. And you'll also notice it's a lot faster. It doesn't show the stuff typing like ChatGPT. It's just blank, and it shows you this little star, and then it spits it all out. But it also creates these other drafts for you as well, which I find it really interesting, and I like the formatting that it gives a little bit better as well. Let me see if they have anything like in terms of copy the text. But I believe like when you copy this text, it actually formats better in a Google Doc as well. Anyway, that's Bard. Some pretty big things happening there.
And this should make Bard much more effective at the tasks that it does.
You ever have that moment in the mirror where
you're
staring back at yourself
3 seconds.
And you start wondering,
let's just watch McConaughey. He's just so cool. What are we watching? All right.
Decided to move the needle in terms of what they want to do with AI by releasing.
Is that the end of the video? No.
If they do, I can already has, because remember, Google wants to completely annihilate the competition that is Bing. Right now, even myself, I use Bing on a daily basis.
Not sure why it
rewound. A rumored example of what it may look like. I wasn't able to confirm or nor deny if that is exactly what Project MAGI will look like, but I can imagine that it's going to look like a combination between Bard and what Microsoft already has, because remember, Google wants to completely annihilate the competition that is Bing. Right now, even myself, I use Bing on a daily basis because it just has so many features that Google does not. So here's my question to you all. Will you be using Google's Project MAGI when it releases next month?
All right, so he's fishing for comments for the algorithm, and so that's the video. I want to show you just one more thing that's going to take about 2 seconds. And I strongly recommend you watch this in the playlist. This is one of my favorite channels on YouTube. The guy's channel is Cold Fusion. He has such a soothing voice the way he does his videos. So I'm going to take this with this timestamp and put it into this so that we could hear it. I'm going to just rewind just a little bit.
He gave the machine a few details about the case, and it was able to diagnose a 1 in 100,000 condition. It would reason just like he did everywhere, with big artists like Kanye West, Jay-Z, and a fake song called Heart on My Sleeve. and it was doing the rounds on social media and Spotify, gaining hundreds of thousands of streams on Spotify alone. Universal Music caught wind of this and pulled it down from streaming services. In a statement, they stated that they wanted to ban the technology and called it a fraud. But the thing is, it's happening everywhere, with big artists like Kanye West, Jay-Z, and Ariana Grande. People are creating backing tracks and putting AI-generated vocals on top of it. Music labels may be angry now, but once they figure out how to do it themselves, you can just bet that they'll be making money from AI-generated music of artists who have passed away. In more general AI news, science gets a boost. It was found that GPT-4 answers US medical exam licensing questions correctly more than 90% of the time, better than some licensed doctors. Dr. Isaac Cohane ran a test. He gave GPT-4 a real-life case that he treated several years earlier. He gave the machine a few details about the case, and it was able to diagnose a 1 in 100,000 condition. It would reason just like he did.
That should put chills on your
skin.
Multiple
papers have now come out stating that GPT-4 can improve its own output when asked to reflect on its performance. But all of that is already outdated. What's taking the world by storm now is AutoGPT and similar systems. These are AI agents that can go out into the online world and do tasks.
Okay, watch what this person did. They're going to show you how they use AutoGPT to create a goal, and the goal was to have an 11-inch pizza ordered. But watch what it actually figured out. It figured out how to do it itself and called the restaurant and ordered the pizza. Check it out.
For you. You just say the task that you want, and that's it.
Hello, I am here at your service. What would you like to do?
I'd like to order a pizza.
What type of pizza would you like to order?
An 11-inch pepperoni pizza, regular crust.
Okay, great. I will first search to find a good pizza place in your area. I have found a pizza place called Za Pizza. I will now create a pizza ordering bot who will call this location for you and will order your pizza.
Super amazing pizza ordering bot, reporting for duty. I have been instructed by the other AI to order you a pizza. I will now call Za Pizza using the Twilio voice API and order you a pizza. Hello, I would like an 11-inch regular pepperoni pizza for pickup, please.
11-inch what, sorry?
Just a plain 11-inch pepperoni pizza, please.
Okay, and what time would you like to pick that up for?
I would like it now, please.
I can have that ready for you in about 20 minutes?
Yes.
Awesome. And can I get a name for the order?
My name is Josefina.
Okay.
Thank you.
See you in about 20 minutes, okay?
Goodbye.
Bye.
All right, so as you can see there, it worked.
All right.
So now I'll actually show you.
Pause that. So this person basically showed how they, with no coding skills, how they created this, and it's pretty cool. Yeah. So I just wanted to end that segment with something that was cool. Genevieve says, "I love. Let's see. I love this one you showed at Friday, Mike. So cool. Yeah. This is interesting stuff. That you're just seeing the future. And what's interesting here is this wasn't an app that does this for you, right? There are companies that could create software that does this. This was literally a person using AutoGPT, also known as there's AgentGPT, there's Baby AGI, different ones that do this. And he connected it to his Twilio account and simply spoke to the computer using the voice to text recognition with a text to voice recognition. And he said, I want to order a pizza. It had a conversation with him. He said, I want this. And it went out and figured out all the tasks. It dialed it up, called it in, and ordered the pizza for the person. So again, it's just a demo, but I think that's pretty cool. So what we're going to do, folks, we're going to come back in about 3 minutes. We're going to play a short 3-minute commercial for Groove.ai, take a bio break, and then we're going to jump into the next hour with some more exciting stuff. We'll see you in about 3 minutes. Hey there, it's Mike Filsame's AI Avatar. Thanks for tuning in to our Groove-A-Thon. We hope you're enjoying all of the great AI content we're serving up for you. But before we get back to the show, we've got a quick message about Groove.ai. Have you noticed that AI is becoming like streaming platforms? Remember when cutting the cord with cable companies was all the rage? Well, now there are a dozen streaming services, and the cost can add up quickly. The same is happening with AI. Yes, there are great platforms out there, but the cost can be as high as $4,000 a month or more. That's why we created Groove.ai as a backer project. It's going to provide you with the best AI solutions at a fraction of the cost, and it's coming just later this year. And with our limited lifetime deal, you'll have lifetime access to all of the top features of Groove.ai when it's released, and right now you can get that for just one payment of $897 or two payments of $497. And with our wholesale pricing on AI, you'll save up to 8 times what the other leading brands are charging. But we don't just save you money. We also offer the benefits of a marketplace. That's right, we're making a marketplace for other AI developers to create cool apps for you. Don't find the task or workflow for your needs? There's going to be a marketplace where others are extending our platform with powerful AI tools. Just like how iOS, Android, WordPress, Google Chrome, and Shopify are better because of their marketplace that extends the values of their technology. Soon, when Groove.ai is released, you will have access to a full suite of AI tools, including content creation, copywriting, image creation, and so much more. This will allow you to streamline your content creation and get even better results for your business. What makes Groove.ai different? Well, number one, we give you wholesale pricing on AI, and we don't lock you into one technology like OpenAI. You'll be getting OpenAI, Google's powerful AI engine, Stable Diffusion, every one out there you'll be able to connect to. The other platforms are built on just one technology. And our lifetime deal, you'll never have to worry about monthly payments again. And here's something special for all customers who back our project before we close. Those customers get a massive bonus of 3.5 million words of free AI content. That's equivalent of getting 35,000 emails with 1,000 words each. That's right, it's a 1,000-word email every day for a century. So don't miss out on this incredible bonus. Act fast and become a backer of Groove.ai before midnight. So don't wait too long. This lifetime deal is only available for a limited time. Once the backer project is complete and Groove.ai is released, the lifetime deal will be gone forever. After that, it will cost $99 a month or $997 a year. So if you want to take advantage of this incredible opportunity and save big on your AI needs, become a backer of Groove.ai before it's too late. Don't wait. Join the community of over 1,500 people that have already backed this project. As a backer, be the first to experience the power of AI when it's released later this year. Now, let's get back to the AI Week Groove-A-Thon with the real Mike Filsaime.
Now get ready for the power of Groove.ai. Become a backer of Groove today.
All right, Josefina, we're back. Okay, everybody. So welcome to the second hour. We're going to probably wrap up around 2 o'clock today rather than the advertised 3 o'clock. But here's what I want to do now. I want to give you a workflow of how we're using AI in our video marketing and basically how we're editing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up a Google Doc and I'm going to basically show you the process that we would use here, and then I'll end up sharing this doc with you all later. Let's just click here. I don't need this. All right, let's make our text a little bit bigger. Share my screen. All right. So the first thing that we're going to do when we're creating a video is we want to understand, like, what's the goal, right? What is the goal that we want to do? Is it a VSL, right? Or is it for an ad on Facebook or YouTube? And once we know what we're doing, then we're going to decide what type of video it's going to be. Is it going to be me performing, or are we going to have somebody else that we're going to hire to perform, or somebody in the company? Or is it going to be a screencast? Is it going to be text over like a ugly VSL or an animation? Or is it going to be mainly somebody talking to the camera spliced with some with what we call B-roll or text animations and different things like that? So that's the very first thing we want to do, is we want to figure out what our goal is. Okay. Once we do that, usually if it's going to involve any type of talent to be on there, and that's what I want to show with you. Some of the stuff that we do with AI to do this, maybe our editing process. The first thing that we've got to do is we've got to write the script. Okay. So I like to start out with an outline. Okay. And then when you come up with the outline, it's just a rough navigation of where you're going to go through. What are the talking points? What are the things that I want to highlight? And in the old days, what I would do is I would go and just start writing. What you can do now with ChatGPT can be your writing assistant, so it can help you flesh out ideas a little bit better. So you're going to take the outline and you're going to generate talking points for each outline, right? And then from there, you can use, and you can even use ChatGPT to do this for you as well. And then you could use ChatGPT to help you write the talking points. Right, so let's actually go through that exercise, right? And then I'll show you the next step, what we'll do either to record that, and I'll show you a really cool tool that we're using now called Timebolt that really saves us a tremendous amount in our what you call the junior editor, the first cut. It's just made it a pleasure to be able to edit video. Then I'll show you some of the stuff that we're using, how we're editing in Descript. And I think the other day we showed you a software program called HeyGen. We'll demo that as well, and we'll show you again a software that we use called Wonder Dynamics. The name of the product is called Wonder Studio, but they're at wonderdynamics.com. So I'll show you that just one more time. So let's just say that we wanted to create. We can even use ChatGPT for everything. So let's jump in over here. And guys, I'm going to use ChatGPT. Whoa. Oh, yeah. Shouldn't it be giving me a drop down? There it is. Okay. I was wondering what happened to this drop down. I'm going to use GPT 3.5 because we're going to get faster outputs. I'm not as concerned about the quality for this right now, but I'm basically going to show you how I might use this, right? So I'm going to say, ooh, now let's show you that how I've got this. Let's see. Let's go to the case studies pages. Groove.ai/case studies. Okay. And over here, the last one, case study 6, says how to create better prompts. So I'm going to open that one up. This is a great case study you want to see. It's a Groove.ai/case-study 6. But I'm just going to open up this document that I have right here that helps me write better prompts. Okay. So I'm going to just take this prompt. Okay. And let's go back to ChatGPT. Okay. And here, I'm going to say desired prompt. I want to write a funnel about, I want to write an article about funnels. I need to have an outline. And for each item in the outline, I will need 3 talking points. Okay, so what this should do is generate a better prompt for me. And as I said, this is, please make me the better prompt. Only. So here's my output. There we go. So now I got a good prompt and I could take this. So basically what I did, guys, is I basically took a boring prompt. I want to write an article about funnels. I need to have an outline for each item. And in the outline, I need 3, each item in the outline, I need 3 talking points. It took this and it wrote this better. That's going to get me a better output. That's essentially what happened. So I'm just going to take this right here and I'm going to start a new chat and I'm just going to paste that in here. And let's see, it should give me an outline for an article on funnels. And it should give me 3 talking points for each one of them. So let's see what happens. All right, so It gave me an outline here. Okay. As a content strategist and marketing consultant, I will develop an effective content strategy for writing an article. The purpose of this article is to educate the readers on the importance of funnels in their marketing and provide practical insights on how to create effective funnels for different types of businesses. The target audience for this article is small business owners, entrepreneurs, and marketers who want to increase their conversion rate. Now, I can do this. I'll just leave it like this. If I wanted it for digital marketers, I could have just said that in the prompt, or just said right here, rewrite this for digital marketers. So now that we have this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this first section right here, and I'm simply going to say in the introduction, and now it's seasoned as a content strategist and marketing consultant. So in the introduction, you said, I'm just going to paste this in with quotes. Okay. Can you please write me 3 paragraphs on this? I'm just going to do that. Okay. Now, I might want to just say here, write this in a 12th grade reading level to a person that is new to marketing. Be encouraging and do not be intimidating. Okay. All right. So, and let's move on. And keep this same tone for all future requests. Okay. And let's hit enter, and it's going to write me that. Okay, so now what we want to do is we want to go over and we want to open up a new document here. And folks, this is how Groove.ai is going to be designed. Groove.ai is going to be like this over here. Okay, if I was to make like a screenshot for you, it's going to be, let's get a screenshot of this. Okay, and let's get a screenshot of this. Okay, and you'll have something along the lines like this. Whoops. All right, and then over here, what you're going to have is when you create a project, let's make this a little bit bigger, you're going to be able to first choose a couple of different things. Right here, let's just make this white. There's a tool called Snagit that I use for prototyping. It's just a screenshot software with additional things here. So let's make that purple. Okay, and so right here, the first step that you're going to have is you're going to be able to create a knowledge base. Okay, so 2 words. All right, and then over here, you're going to then choose the style. What I mean by style is you'll have a drop down here, and in the drop down you're going to see first direct response, bloggers, copywriters, and then once you choose that, there'll be a drop down of about 15 or 20 different people. If you say copywriters, you might see Gary Benzavenga, John Carlton, Clayton Makepeace, Gary Halbert. And you'll select that person, or you'll be able to merge styles, or you'll be able to create a new style, and then you'll train it. And you'll say, great, take a look at this website or this PDF, and this is Mike Filsame, or this is me, or whatever the case is, or add 3 or 4 different ones from me and Frank Kern and Gary Halbert and put them together and say, you know, this is now a new custom style. And so now everything it's going to write will be in this style. Okay. And it's the knowledge base. What this means, I'll go over if you haven't seen us talk about this before, is you're going to be able to give it a research project. So you're going to be able to upload. Let's go over to the mind map to explain that a little bit better. And this mind map, guys, you can find that right here on any of the pages of Groove where you see the Backer mind map. You'll be able to get that. Make sure you click on the link that actually opens up the mind map rather than the PDF, because it's more up to date. I'm constantly adding things. So if you want to go in, you can see the public Backer right here. This is mine. It has a little bit more confidential information, but on this side, this is the project. And so we're going to scroll all the way up to the top up here. And you're going to see that you'll be able to create a knowledge base, which means you're priming the system. So that means you can write anything in there and paste it in, or paste information that you have from a document. You'll be able to give it a website URL or several website URLs, and it will scrape that data. You could give it an RSS feed or an XML feed or a sitemap. You'll be able to give it a YouTube video by pasting in a URL, uploading an audio file or a video file. And then once that's done, you're going to realize that you've basically said, okay, here are 3 videos on funnels. I found this PDF online and I'm going to upload that. Here's some of my information that I've written before. In fact, here's a video where I spoke about it. Here's a podcast I was on where I spoke about it. And you upload all of that and you create a knowledge base. And you're going to call that knowledge base. You'll give it a name and you'll be able to reuse it over and over and over again. And then you could even clone that knowledge base and add more information to it, remove information, and now thus creating another knowledge base that could be used over and over again every time you're opening up a project. And then you'll be able to have a different style. And then what I want you to realize is what you're seeing right here. Okay. Hold on just a second. Hey, Michelle, can we just keep that down a bit if you don't like this? That's the AC repairman, and boy, could he talk loud. You probably didn't hear it, but it was distracting to me. All right, so what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to copy and paste this down a little bit further. Actually, let me do it like this. Oh, I'm in full screen here. Okay, so I'm going to do it more like this. I want to get this right here. Just get something like that. Okay. And what I'm showing you here is to represent that right about here, you're going to have different tabs that the way you do it inside of, let me stop making this full screen so I can go in and out. Just bear with me just a second, guys. And then I'll make this more clear. When you're in ChatGPT, you'll notice that it's giving you all of your different prompts up here, but this takes up too much space in the user interface, right? We believe that all of these can be put up at the top like this, okay? So this is how I want you to understand that your workflow will be, is this shelf will be able to slide back out. This is just part of a wizard. So you'll actually be more like this in your full screen, okay? But you would have set these primers up right here. But once they're gone, let's just get rid of this up here like this to demonstrate this more. What you're seeing here in ChatGPT with all of these threads that you have right here will be more like this. You'll be able to create a new thread up at the top. There'll be a plus button right here. So let's just put something here like that to represent. Okay, let's make that white. Okay. And if you wanted to add a new one, you would simply just click the plus button right here. And now you're going to notice that you have different chats that are going on up at the top. that are all related to this one project that has this knowledge base and this style. So everything that you're writing, remember before we said that you wanted to make a bot that talks like Steve Jobs? Well, in this project, your project will always be primed on that knowledge base that you created. And one of the things that I didn't mention before is that also in this knowledge base, you're going to be able to do a couple of other things in the knowledge base. Like number one, for each reference that you gave, right? Let's just say that this line right here represents some source input that you put in, right? So let's just say that this line right here represents a Google Doc. This is a PDF. This is a website URL. And you gave 1, 2, 3 YouTube videos like this, okay? And then you also gave an audio file and a podcast. So basically, this is all of this information you've uploaded on people talking about funnels. Then what you're going to be able to do is I want you to imagine that each one of these different things would have a little slider to the right of it, okay? And that would say something like this. Over here, this would be 0 to 100%. Okay, and underneath that would be like a little, let's just make this green. It would be like a little slider. And you could set that slider to be, give this video 20% relevance in what we're doing, or you would slide that, give it 100% relevance. Like I want, this is very, very important. You're giving it a weighting system. A weight, W-E-I-G-H-T, the weight. Like how important is this article? This one over here, here's a video. It's not really that important. This one, pretty important, and you're gonna move it up, right? And then at the end, you're gonna have one grand slider, like a big slider for the knowledge base. And if you move it all the way to 100%, meaning that's the aggregate of all of this information right here. And if I set that to 100%, right? Let's just copy this here. We'll just put 100% over here. Right? If I set this to 100%, what I'm telling the system is it can only use the information here. It can only rewrite this information, all of the source information. But if I was to bring that slider down to 50%, well, then what we would see here is that we would be getting 50% of its world information, meaning it's allowed to pontificate based on its own ideas of what it studied in the world. And if I move it down to 20%, well, then it's going to be like right now, what I got over here at ChatGPT, this is 100% of its world information. I wasn't able to prime it with any PDFs. I wasn't able to guide it and say, hey, I've written an article on this, right? I could transcribe one of my videos that I've done, on a live stream where I've got products inside of Groove, called Funnels Masterclass with Mike Filsame. I'd be able to load this in there. And with the new GPT-4 that I'm waiting for them to release, they're going from allowing us to put 5 pages of information to 50 pages. But that's why it's going to be a little bit different in Groove.ai. We're not going to have those types of limits. You're going to be able to just load your knowledge base up with all of these different types of information. And finally, you could say, no, you know what? I want to do it, let's just say at 50%, right? All right. So you can maybe bring that dial down to like 50% instead of 100%. But I hope you're understanding what I'm saying right here is that you can prime the project. You can then give it a style, like who's it going to write in the style of, okay? And then all of these different things, I've given it a video, some PDFs, some URLs from YouTube, and I've created a knowledge base. I could give each one of those individual importance, and then as a macro, I can then say, right, everything must be related to what I've given you. You cannot use real world knowledge. Or if I slide that back down to 50%, like we see right here, well, in that case, it's only going to use 50% of this information and 50% of its real world knowledge like it currently is. And then what's beautiful here, the way this is going to work is as you're writing, you may just come up with another idea and you say, I just need something real quick. You'll click plus, you'll have a brand new chat section. You'll type, you'll be able to get things. And what you'll see over here, this is one of the most exciting things that we're doing, is you're going to be able to send any of this data directly into a document that is right over here that will have H1, H2. Basically, it's a basic, simple blog editor that will allow you to do bold, underline, bullet points. And so you're going to have one nice workspace, which currently we're doing right now with ChatGPT and a Google Doc. But imagine being able to simply highlight this portion of the text right here and then hit a little arrow and send it over. And place your cursor anywhere you want, and then select text, and send an arrow and send it over. And now you're building up your document. Or you might just want to take this text right here, paste it into the message and say, rewrite this shorter. Give more information, expand on this, make it less technical. Great, now it rewrites it. Okay, boom, you'll click it and you'll send it right over to a Google Doc. What we've realized, guys, is we've looked into Jasper and we've looked into Copy.ai and some of these new tools, that have been out for the last year, and they all bring you through this wizard process. And we will have those as well, where it says, what is your topic? What are the keywords? Here are the talking points, drag and drop. But it's not allowing you to do what we're doing right here. Be creative and say, rewrite this, move this over. I don't need all of this other junk. I don't need some of that stuff, and put it in and build it yourself. We're creating something which is an extension of you, a writing assistant, as opposed to a wizard that's going to create a very generic blog content for you. Now, if you're interested in just creating spam content for the search engines and you just want better than nothing, yeah, we'll have those wizards for you as well. But we think that, creating, and I just recently went through this the other day when I created the blog post at Groove.cm/blog. I think Groove.ai/blog. We put another version of it. We rewrote it so we avoid duplicate content. I did it exactly the way that you're seeing right now. I didn't go into any wizard and just let it write an article about the convergence of AutoGPT, ChatGPT plugins, JARVIS, and whatever the fourth one was. I forget what it was, but putting those four things together, I wouldn't have trusted it to write anything that would be in my voice. I want a workflow where I could give it some information. You can see I like these different YouTube videos like we went in today. Let's say I went in and I pasted that in there. I pasted the Cold Fusion one in there, gave it a relevant score, right? And now I could use that to start writing, and that would be something like we're seeing right here. So let's see what it's done for me right now. So it said, marketing can seem like a complex and intimidating world to navigate, but it's actually just a way of communicating with your audience. I kind of like this. This is actually pretty good, okay? And you'll notice right here, I said, write this in a 12th grade reading level. That's fine, but what it's really doing is I'm saying be encouraging and do not be intimidating. And you can see right out of the gate, let me get rid of my big face there so you can see this a little bit easier. In fact, what I'm gonna do is whenever we get into the text stuff here, not tech, the text, I'm going to zoom in to the largest one here. Very annoying for me here, but I think you guys will appreciate this more. So what you're seeing is it is being very encouraging and not intimidating. Marketing can seem like a complex and intimidating world to navigate, but don't worry. It's actually just a way of communicating with your audience and showing them why your product or service is worth their attention. Funnels are one tool that marketers use to make this process more effective. At its simplest, a funnel, it's just an introduction to funnels. So I would probably just take this as is right here. And if this was this, right, I would just hit the arrow over and send it to my document, right? But instead right now, currently, because we don't have Groove.ai yet, I need to simply paste. Now you have to do paste without formatting, right? Because if we do paste like this, we get this. Have you ever noticed that? And you're wondering, like, what is all of this junk that I'm getting? So the little secret there, I'm sure you've all figured it out, is paste without formatting. So I could get something like this. Now I have a tool in here called Grammarly, right? I'm sure many of you have it. Very popular. Sometimes you can, it doesn't like but, it like still, which is better, right? So usually what I'll do is I'll take a look at what it's doing. What I've realized is when I'm writing an email, I don't like Grammarly. It likes to use too much grammar. But for here, I'll just clean some of this stuff up. This isn't a demo for Grammarly, but the reason why I'm doing it, to be frank with you, is I can't stand seeing all of these little lines on my screen. So what I'm going to do for this demo is I'm just going to shut off Grammarly for this session, just so that we don't see all of those lines right there. All right. And if you never realized there was a little power button that you could do that and shut it off just for the session, that sometimes happens in here as well. Have you ever noticed that when you're trying to, because my screen is so small, it's not even allowing me to, oh, my session expired. That's why. Well, what do you know? So just logging in, if you're hearing some silence here. Okay, let's go back to that one. Okay, you'll also notice that Grammarly will sometimes show up in here, and it becomes a pain in the neck. So I'll usually shut it off sometimes even when I'm writing. So now what you need to do is decide, is this in your own voice? Okay, and let's just say that there's something right here that you want to write, and you can expand on it in your own words. You'll just go in here and now maybe start writing your own stuff. This is basically the way that I write an article. I'll start with an outline and some talking points. Let's just see how that would have continued, right? So we're going to go back up, and we're going to now go to here. These are talking points. So we're going to go all the way up to the top. Okay. And I'm just going to do this, and I'm simply going to type in here, now do the same for this. Colon, quote, that. Right? Now, the beautiful thing is ChatGPT understands the context of what's going on. The previous thing that I asked it to do was, I said, in the introduction, you said this, can you please provide me 3 paragraphs? Now, by saying this, it should give me 3 paragraphs in a 12th grade reading level that are encouraging. So simply by doing this. Now, you will get better results in ChatGPT 4, and it'll have better context. But you can see it's saying the importance of funnels in marketing. Of course, here's an example of explanation of funnels in your marketing, written in a 12th grade reading level in a friendly tone. You see that? It's even telling you, hey, I understand the context. All right. So now, folks, what I would do is I would simply take that and paste that over. See why the Groove.ai one is going to be a little bit better. You'll have your knowledge base, your style and tones built in every time you need to create something new, right? Like right now, I might want to get a quote from Ben Franklin, right? Whatever the case is, maybe it was inspiration. I'd have to go in and create a new chat up here. And I don't really need, but the problem is when I create the new chat, I'm losing the context of the knowledge base that I put in. See, the way that we're doing in Groove is you're just going to click new chat right here, and you'll be able to type in whatever you want, and it'll still have the style baked in. You'll actually even have a little tick box right here that will be checked on, and you could shut off saying, for this particular task, I don't need you to have the knowledge base or the style similar. But your workflow is going to be so much better having all of this information here and sending that information. Currently, the way that we need to do this is I would take this and copy. Now, see, here's something that happens. Is sometimes it will give you like an introduction and a conclusion for every one of these points. I don't always like that because it's kind of like writing a mini blog article. So sometimes what I'm going to do here is I'm going to say here just like this, or this, jump right in. No intro, or I'm just going to say no conclusion. Okay, and another thing that you'll notice here is that we have something called rules. Okay, so rules are things that you can say that it must follow and not follow. So the problem that we're going to have is I'm going to have to keep copying and pasting this. No conclusion, no conclusion. If this was Groove.ai, we would have one more thing, as you can see here in the mind map. We call them rules. And another thing I'm not even going to get into called short codes, but not right now, but in the future we will. So imagine having here one more thing that we could collapse, and this would be called rules. And now you could set a rule that every single time you type, it only gives you what you're looking for. It doesn't, one of the other things I hate is all of this stuff too. Of course, here's how I can do that. You can give it a rule, just give me the output. I don't need any of the fluff. In fact, let's do that as well. No conclusion. Also, please just give me the output I request with no additional conversation from you. Sounds rude, but that's what we want. All right. So let's hit send. It just wants some commas in here. See, that's why I usually shut off Grammarly. Here we go. See, what I've just done is with Groove.ai, I'll be able to create that as a rule, so we don't have to deal with that every single time. But you'll notice it didn't say, sure, here you go. Or at the end of it. I hope you found that good. Is there anything else I can help you with? God forbid you're moving fast. You might actually copy and paste some of that, or you might even arrow that into your document, which you don't want. So what we did right now is you're going to notice this is going to wrap up. This is more of a conclusion, but no, it's more of a conclusion to this, not to the entire blog. But so we would just now copy this, okay? And we would now put this into our document right here. And we would, if we wanted, if we're writing it like a blog, we could actually even put in like a heading, just like this. Give it an H2 tag or something like that, something like this. And we're going to have that easier in our builder when you're doing it. So it'll look something just like that, right? And what do we do now at this point? Whoops. We just continue to do the same thing, right? We have an outline. And the other thing is we may want to even adjust this outline. But here, just to give you one more thing, let's just take this, just so you know. Now, please do it with this. And please apply the same rules as my last prompt. Okay, and just like that, you see it's jumping right in. It's not saying, sure, I'd be happy to. Here you go, right? So A/B testing is a valuable tool by implementing. Now, again, this is something that you can do for a blog article that is something that is, you want to get the article out there and it's pretty good. There are going to be some things that are really going to be your own intellectual property, like you're writing your own book, and these are your own original ideas. You're really going to need to record that into an audio file and then upload that in and say, here are some thoughts that I've done. Can you codify this into an outline? And then you could help it rewrite a conversation that you have just talking into a microphone like I am right now. You can have a microphone right here and you can just sit here like this, maybe have something that you're looking at. You're saying, okay, A/B split testing. Okay, here's the reason why you'd want to be doing A/B split testing. And then you could talk it into a microphone and you could upload that to something like Descript or, Descript, or even, where else can you get things transcribed? I would say Descript is probably right now my favorite tool to get something transcribed. There's lots of different applications that you could upload a file and get the text, and then you could paste that text right into here into ChatGPT and say, I'm writing a blog article or a video or a script or whatever the case is, and here's some information. Can I share it with you? It could put it in, and then you could say, now write this into an outline form. And that, folks, that's why this is going to be so good inside of Groove.ai, is you're going to be able to load that knowledge base. And remember, these black lines represent inputs that you're putting in. This might be the audio file that you upload. You give it an importance of 100%, and then you give the entire project an importance of 100%. And you're basically saying, I want you to help me rewrite these thoughts that I put up there for you by recording this 1 hour, single flow podcast. And now you're going to just paste that transcription in there and then say, let's create an outline and help me rewrite this using this, right? You've just created a knowledge base. You want it in your style, or you want it in the style of Neil Patel or Tim Ferriss, right? And then you can now start getting the outline, helping it write it, codify your thoughts, and putting that into this document over here. So I hope that you're starting to see how this is going to be able to help you get your ideas out of your head, and even say, I really like this YouTube video that this nice lady over here did on this particular topic. I want to add that to my knowledge base. Currently, it's very difficult to do that with ChatGPT. See, with ours, you have this knowledge base and style with multiple tabs. Every single time you go into ChatGPT and say, hey, I want to get that quote that Einstein said, well, it's not seasoned anymore with that knowledge base. So this is why you're going to see your ability to write sales copy, webinar registration copy, writing an outline for a webinar, your video sales letter, anything that you need to do with Groove.ai is going to be a lot simpler. We're going to take a quick 3-minute break, and then we're going to come back. I'm going to show you the process that we would go through here to record this and then edit it and use our personal avatars or AI avatars to do it. So we're going to be back, folks, in about, we'll take another 3-minute commercial, and we'll wrap up with that last session. We'll be right back. Hey there, it's Mike Filsame's AI Avatar. Thanks for tuning in to our Groove-A-Thon. We hope you're enjoying all of the great AI content we're serving up for you. But before we get back to the show, we've got a quick message about Groove.ai. Have you noticed that AI is becoming like streaming platforms? Remember when cutting the cord with cable companies was all the rage? Well, now there are a dozen streaming services, and the cost can add up quickly. The same is happening with AI. Yes, there are great platforms out there, but the cost can be as high as $4,000 a month or more. That's why we created Groove.ai as a backer project. It's going to provide you with the best AI solutions at a fraction of the cost, and it's coming just later this year. And with our limited lifetime deal, you'll have lifetime access to all of the top features of Groove.ai when it's released, and right now you can get that for just one payment of $897 or two payments of $497. And with our wholesale pricing on AI, you'll save up to 8 times what the other leading brands are charging. But we don't just save you money. We also offer the benefits of a marketplace. That's right, we're making a marketplace for other AI developers to create cool apps for you. Don't find the task or workflow for your needs? There's going to be a marketplace where others are extending our platform with powerful AI tools. Just like how iOS, Android, WordPress, Google Chrome, and Shopify are better because of their marketplace that extends the values of their technology. Soon, when Groove.ai is released, you will have access to a full suite of AI tools, including content creation, copywriting, image creation, and so much more. This will allow you to streamline your content creation and get even better results for your business. What makes Groove.ai different? Well, number one, we give you wholesale pricing on AI, and we don't lock you into one technology like OpenAI. You'll be getting OpenAI, Google's powerful AI engine, Stable Diffusion, everyone out there you'll be able to connect to. The other platforms are built on just one technology. And our lifetime deal, you'll never have to worry about monthly payments again. And here's something special for all customers who back our project before we close. Those customers get a massive bonus of 3.5 million words of free AI content. That's equivalent of getting 35,000 emails with 1,000 words each. That's right, it's a 1,000-word email every day for a century. So don't miss out on this incredible bonus. Act fast and become a backer of Groove.ai before midnight. So don't wait too long. This lifetime deal is only available for a limited time. Once the backer project is complete and Groove.ai is released, the lifetime deal will be gone forever. After that, it will cost $99 a month or $997 a year. So if you want to take advantage of this incredible opportunity and save big on your AI needs, become a backer of Groove.ai before it's too late. Don't wait. Join the community of over 1,500 people that have already backed this project. As a backer, be the first to experience the power of AI when it's released later this year. Now, let's get back to the AI Week Groove-A-Thon with the real Mike Filsame.
Now get ready for the power of Groove.ai. Become a backer of Groove today.
All right, back with the real Mike Filsame. I'm sure, out of the, the people that are on here, I bet most of you know that that was an AI avatar, but I bet there's some that are just joining and they're thinking that, hey, it's because of the live stream, and maybe they're not seeing Mike as clearly when you were seeing me animate, as you see. Let's see, right here. Let's go here. Let's pull up that video again. Okay, so for those of you that didn't know, that this is not me. This is an artificial intelligence animation of me. Okay, and I'm going to show you how we did that just real quick. Some of you have seen this before, but right now we're doing it as part of a workflow. I want to also acknowledge in there, you'll notice that sometimes the voice changes slightly. It'll be talking like this, and then all of a sudden the voice changes, the sound's different. That's because I re-edited this video from last time when it said over nearly 500 people have backed this project, and we are now up to 1,500. That's why the audio changes. That was an audio insert that I had to cut out and re-edit. But I also want to let you know that if you go to Groove.ai/backer and you go right underneath the video and click right here where it says become a backer today, that's going to take you down here where you can become a lifetime backer of Groove.ai for just $897, or 2 payments of $497. And remember, we're giving you $100 worth of free credit with OpenAI, so you don't have to use your own API key for up to 37.5 million words input and output, which basically would be the equivalent of writing 1 email every day for a century. Now, right over here, guys, you'll notice if you're first joining us, you don't know about this, there's something here and it says looking for happy hour. If you click here, we have a third option for you where you could get started for just $250. All right, so 250 bucks gets you started. It's 4 payments of $250. You'll pay 1 payment today, and then just 3 payments after that of just $250. You want to become a backer of Groove.ai, get into our private community. I'm not going to be doing these live streams constantly. This is part of an AI Groove-A-Thon. These types of live streams will be done only for the backers inside our closed Facebook group. We won't be multicasting them to YouTube and other Facebook groups like the Groove.cm Facebook group. All right. Now, moving on here, we had a couple of questions. I saw that Genevieve Fuentes asked, Mike, are you considering adding a content spinning feature, or is it in your opinion that with all of these tools, we don't need that? Just curious. The beautiful thing is you can take an article in and you can just paste it in and say, rewrite this. That's the good with AI, but there's also some bad with that as well. Let me get my little face in here for you. We will certainly have an article spinning app, because what we're going to do is with app specific things like that, we want to give you the little dial things that you can do by saying, how close do you want to keep that to the original spirit, right? Or maybe just have certain sections in there where we just say, just rewrite this selected text or this selected text, or a slider that says, keep it 50% the same, or 80%, or all the way down to 20%, right? So the thing is with ChatGPT, because you don't have these levers in there, where you can, you might want to have a content spinner that says, however, this keyword phrase, right? Building funnels with Groove.cm, you must keep that intact. Like, you cannot respin that. And that gets difficult with ChatGPT, because you have to start writing all of these commands. Make sure that you don't change this word. Rewrite it 80% different. All of those different things. You're going to notice with ChatGPT that the more complex of a task it gives you, it doesn't know what's as important. And sometimes I'll even have to go back and say, hey, you forgot this. It'll say, you're right. I apologize. I did forget that rule. It's not perfect. It is not a computer program. It's more of a conversation with a really smart person, right? But I'm going to call AI. I'm going to basically give you this metaphor. I think we've all been there, right? You're out to dinner, and you're going out at an event, at a digital marketing event, and 12 of you are going to a steakhouse, right? And you're at that steakhouse, and you've got that waiter that doesn't like to write things down. And you know what? That don't fly with me. I'm sorry. I'm not here to grade you and give you an A- and say, hey, not bad. Not bad. You got everything right with the exception that my wife doesn't eat dairy, but that's okay. She only waited 45 minutes for that steak that you cooked in butter, right? So we've all been there, right? And give me a little shout out in the chat that you're not looking to see that they're pretty good. They got 90% of the order right. That doesn't fly with any of us. We want 100%, right? So you see that waitress or waiter, and this person is saying, should we get the scalloped potatoes or the yeah, you know what? And then they go to the next person. Somebody, forget the scalloped potatoes. We're gonna go with the steak fries. Oh, okay. And the next thing you know, you're saying to themselves, there's no way she's gonna remember this order. There's just no way, or he. And then they come back, and all of a sudden, and Donna knows this. I think she was there at a TNC event. I don't eat seafood. And I remember telling the waitress that I'll have this and this, but with the combo, I'll just have a second chicken because I don't need seafood. And it came back and she gave me the seafood. And we were talking about it before she left. And I said, she's going to mess this up. And she came back and gave that. And I said, I'm sorry, I ordered this with, and she looked right at me. She goes, no, you didn't say that. And I said, no, yes, I did. I know I did because I don't need seafood. And she says, if you said that, then I wouldn't have given you seafood. And I was just like looking around like, is this really happening? Right. And so guys, ladies and gentlemen, that's ChatGPT, right? So what we're doing with Groove.ai, and you'll see this here in the mind map, and I do apologize. I went back to my normal screen during the break. Let's just go back to your view here, which you'll appreciate a little bit better. And you're going to notice that when you're setting things up, we're going to be able to give it rules, things that it must follow and things that it won't follow. This is going to make your life so much better. I think somebody made a comment about that over here. Let me just see. Yeah, let's just go back just a little bit. Somebody made a little comment about my patience. Let's see. Knowledge, I wonder, blah, blah, blah. Oh, right here, MJ. MJ says, it's funny how your patience have changed with it from the first Groove-A-Thon AI. I can relate. So yeah, so folks, I'm embarrassed. There's some conversations that I've had with ChatGPT where I got irrational. I had to step back to myself and say, I had such a relationship built with this thing. I was yelling at it. And I was like, and as the conversation thread starts getting longer, it's trying to spin all of these different plates on a stage. If you're familiar with spinning plates, let me give you a little image of what I'm saying here. Spinning plates. Okay, if we go to the images of that, that's this person on stage that's doing this. This is what ChatGPT is trying to do. And the longer your thread gets, what it's doing every single time you ask another prompt is it's going, okay, put up a poll, spin that plate. And then you ask another prompt and it's saying, okay, I got to keep track of the first prompt and this rule, and it's spinning all of these plates. And the more that that's happening, the more prompts you give it, it's starting to forget what's actually happening. And that's where you start saying, now you're starting to upset me. This is the third time I told you, I don't want you to mention this. I'm sorry, as a large language model, blah, blah, blah. And you just start getting very frustrated with it, okay? And if any of you have ever dealt with ChatGPT, you're smiling right now because like you're realizing, okay, this is just getting out of control. So your thread got a little bit too big. Let me show you what's happened since, right? And it's not currently built into ChatGPT, but it will be built into ours. We can create a knowledge base and a system and rules. And this technology already exists that you can see right here. This is OpenAI Playground. This right here is the ChatGPT. Write me an article about marketing funnels. All right, and I hit submit, and it's going to write an article, right? So this is basically, I'm in, GPT. Well, let me do a drop down while that's going. All right, is there a little stop button here maybe? Okay, great. So it wrote me a little information here, and you can see I have different language models, but the new one that they've added now, which is not in ChatGPT, is something called a system. And this is where we could put all of the rules. And this is where we put our requests. Currently in ChatGPT, you have to put your request and the rules in one. And as I just said before, the more prompts you put in here, the more plates it's starting to spin. Okay? And it's going to start looking like this after a while. Okay? And then let's see, crashing. There we go, right? Eventually this is going to happen here. Or I like the look of this person. That's what starts happening with ChatGPT. Okay. But with ours, the fact that we could give it a system that says, this is simply my prompt. These are rules you must follow, right? So watch what I say here. Speak like Shakespeare. If that's how you spell Shakespeare, and be mean and negative. Let's not say mean. Let's say sarcastic. All right. Now I'm going to say something like this. Let's see. Talk to me about digital marketers and their advertising methods. Okay. Now, when I do this, anytime I put a prompt in here, oh, digital marketers and their advertising methods, verily, whatever, they are plague upon the internet. They create pop-up ads and spam emails that doth vex us all. They care not for the user experience, only for their own profit. Their tactics are as transparent as glass, right? So you can see the thing is as I start adding more plates, I will always have these rules in place. That's why this is going to be better, because you'll be able to give it rules in the user interface, a style, and a knowledge base, as you're seeing right here. Okay. And then every time I go here, it'll never start spinning plates. I'm never going to start saying, you're not following the rules. I said, you're not allowed to mention active campaign. It's the third time you mentioned it when talking about GrooveMail. Please don't do that again. Yes, I'm sorry. You're right. Let me rewrite it. And then it rewrites it again. And you're like, okay, you didn't mention active campaign, but this time you mentioned ClickFunnels. Please write this article. Do not mention active campaign. Yes, you're right. I'm sorry. I did that. Boom. Now you're using too much jargon. I've told you, write it in a 12th grade reading level. And then you're going to be like, forget this. This is just getting too frustrating. That's happened to me with ChatGPT. I've realized the thread, I've added too many spinning plates. You're not going to have that problem with Groove.ai, because we're going to have all of these things right here. You'll be able to add a new tab over here. And guess what? You're also going to have a document here with tabs on top of that you can have multiple documents going. Your main draft, a rough draft, a little place where you're just writing some text and then copy it and move back to the main draft. Having a user interface like this is going to be so much more of a pleasure. But in the meantime, we have ChatGPT. All right, so moving on. Now, we've written our article. Let's go back, get rid of all of this stuff, move this over to here. We've written our article, and now here's what I want to do. I want to grab my software. I'll open up something like Screenflow. There's other applications like Audacity, iMovie, Final Cut, Adobe Premiere, Adobe Audition, whatever the case, wherever you like to record your voice, that's up to you. This is my microphone right here. I'll usually shut this off because I don't need it. But I do like to record my screen. You should be seeing a big red thing go above my screen. So that's Studio Display 1. And then what I'll do is I'll do something like this. So let's just say I was going to record this video. I would hit record. I'm going to get a countdown. I'm going to usually make this a little bit bigger, like this. And I might even zoom in for myself a little bit because I like to be able to read a little bit more. Now, this is maybe, I'm going to have my AI avatar do this. Let's move the camera over here. I keep going out of the screen a little bit, so we want to do a little bit more like that. Okay, so I'm going to record like this, and I want to show you something. First thing I'm going to do, I'm going to be very quiet. I'm going to shut off my AC. going to shut off my ceiling fan. I'm not doing that now because I need to stay cool. And then I do this. And I snap again, right into my microphone, which is right here. I don't know if you guys can see it there. Okay. And what I've just done is I've created a clean plate of the background, right? Not where I'm going, moving my microphone around. I don't want any of that. I want a clean plate so that I could get that background noise taken out. And then once that's done, I'm going to make some deliberate mistakes here because I want to show you something. All right. Marketing can seem like a complex and intimidating world to navigate. Still, it's a way of, these are deliberate mistakes because I want to show you how this is going to edit very simple later. Still, it's a way of communicating with your audience. You know, I want to change that tone up a little bit. Still, it's a way of communicating with your audience and showing them why your product or service is worth their attention. Funnels are one tool. One more time. Funnels are one tool that makes marketers use, that's a mistake. Funnels are one tool that marketers use to make this process more effective. Now, folks, I made those mistakes on purpose because I want to show you something in the editing. I'm just going to read this next paragraph and I'm going to show you how I use this tool from there. Okay, next. At its simplest, a funnel describes the journey that a potential customer takes from first learning about your product to actually making a purchase. Now I'm realizing I'm reading this for the first time and it sounds like I'm reading. So I'm just going to do that take one more time. A little pause. I'll explain why I do pause. At its simplest, a funnel describes the journey that a potential customer takes from first learning about your product to actually making a purchase. Think of it. Don't like that? Think of it like a funnel you might use in a kitchen. At the top, you have a wide opening where you pour in your ingredients, and at the bottom, you have a narrow spout where your finished product comes out. I don't like the ending of that. And at the bottom, you have a narrow spout where your finished product comes out. Okay, that's enough of this demo that I want to show you. So I'm going to hit stop. Okay. Now, between you and me, I have something in my workflow that I do, and I will take this and I export it, just the audio, like this. I click something called lossless audio, and then I take that audio and I put it into Audacity. Okay. And you know what? For the heck, I'm just going to do this right here. I'm going to show you something that I do in Audacity that takes my voice and let me see here. I'm gonna let you hear the difference, the two different versions. Okay, so let's first export it like it normally is right here, and I'm just going to call that AI-Thon. Okay, send that to my downloads, and I'm going to hit save. And now I'm getting just a voice thing. Now I'm going to open up Audacity. This is my particular workflow. I might be going into a little bit too much, but you can actually do this with any anything like iMovie or Final Cut or DaVinci Resolve or Adobe. What I'm doing right now is called sweetening the audio. This is pretty cool stuff. So I'm just waiting for that to export. And now that that's exported, I'm going to go into my downloads and I'm just going to take this AI-Thon and I'm going to drag it right into here. Oh, I messed up. My bad. Oh, no, please don't quit. Thank goodness. Cancel. I wanted to do export, and I was supposed to do lossless audio. I apologize about that. So we're going to do that one more time. That was quick. Okay. Now I'm going to open up my Audacity. We're going to take this file in my downloads. Let's just delete this. Okay. And I'm going to place this right in here like this, and I'm going to show you how I would edit this. Now, I can zoom in a little bit, I believe, by hitting Command 1. And what you're going to see right here, these are the snaps of my fingers right here. Yep, that's the snap of my finger. Let me also see in my wave link if I have Let's see if I could add Audacity in here. Okay, so you should be able to hear that now as it's playing. Donna, tell me if you're hearing this. Right into my microphone, which is right here. I don't know if, yes, okay, great. So what you're gonna hear right here, you're gonna hear a snap. Ready? Should have heard that. And this should be the end snap. Nice. Okay, so the first thing that I did is I know, because I've edited so much of my own content, that I've left in something to get a sample of the background noise. And I see the huge spike, one of the biggest spikes, because I snapped right into the microphone like that. So what I do, the very first thing that I do is I highlight this section, and you'll have to come back to the live stream to watch this because I'm going to go very, very quick. But I do something called Effect, Noise Removal and Repair, and I click Noise Reduction. And I click like this, and I get a noise profile. Okay, I've got a noise profile. It's that simple. Now I select everything by hitting Control A or Command A. And now I've selected everything, and I click Effect, and I click Repeat Noise Reduction. And right there, it's just gotten rid of all of the noise in the room. Now, there's 4 more things I need to do. I go into Effect, and I add a compressor, and I just click Apply. I've got settings for that. There's some YouTube videos that will show you how to do that, but we're just not going to get that deep into it. Then I do a limiter, okay, just like that. And now I'm going to do a bass boost in the equalizer. So I got to open up the equalizer here, and I go to bass boost, and I hit Apply. And then I'm going to do the same thing again. Equalizer, filter, open up a preset for treble boost. And I've got one more thing I need to do. And that's simply go to here, volume and compression. I click normalize. That's going to normalize this. Okay. And now that I'm done, I'm going to click File, Export as a wave. That's the best audio you can get. And now I'm going to have, where did I send that to? My downloads. Great. Okay. So now you're going to notice when we go over to here, I have 2 files in my downloads. I have the original file. This is how my voice sounded before I did any processing. Let's play it. Ready? Like this. Let's go to the middle. And I might even zoom in for myself a little bit because I like to be able to read a little bit. Oh, that's the volume. Maybe, I'm sorry. So let's go to 1 minute, exactly 1 minute, and we're going to play them both at the 1 minute mark. This is the unprocessed or unsweetened original audio as it came out of my microphone. I could get that background noise taken out. And then once that's done, I'm going to make some deliberate mistakes here because I want to show you something. Okay, so now let's see how it sounds sweetened up. I'm going to go to the 1 minute mark. And let's see if you could tell the difference. I could get that background noise taken out. And then once that's done, I'm going to make some deliberate mistakes here because I want to show. And so essentially what I've done is I've given it more of that radio sound. If you want to get that radio sound into your audio, that's how you do it. You speak normal, and then this will do that. So what I do, only because I'm showing you the workflow, might be a little over your head. You can go back and watch this in the live stream. I'm done with the Audacity. I don't even need to save it because this is just a file. What I do is I take this audio right here, and I'm going to drag it into my timeline. And I'm going to now get rid of this one. Okay, and then from here, I usually just hit smooth volume levels. It's just one more thing that I do that it makes all the peaks right. So now I want to show you how I can edit this audio in a tool called Timebolt. So let's just save this first. And I'm just going to call it AI-Thon. Right, I've saved this. Now I'm going to export this as a video file. Okay, back to here. And we're just going to export this. We're going to call it AI-Thon, put it to my downloads. And I have this tool. You guys are going to love this. If you've ever edited video, what I'm about to show you is going to help you. So let me show you. Man, I should have done this one as well. So picture I did this. You could put a 1 in the chat if you don't like speaking into a teleprompter because you find it very difficult unless there's somebody there moving it for you. It's moving too fast, too slow. You're just not comfortable with it. But you also realize that when you try to talk to the camera, you get a lot of this. without a teleprompter. This is a typical performance. Hi, it's Mike Filsame. Today I want to talk to you about some things that are going on in AI. You're going to notice some things that happened recently with JARVIS. And you notice what I'm doing? I'm thinking, I'm moving up, I'm moving my eyes. What if I was able to do a performance like this? And this workflow that I've just done with reading the document and then sweetening the audio would work just like this. And you would go like this. Hi, it's Mike Filsame. Today I want to talk to you about AI. Gather my thoughts. So there's some really cool things that are happening with something called AutoGPT and Microsoft JARVIS. Microsoft JARVIS uses something called Hugging GPT that allows blah, 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 blah. You kind of get what I'm doing? I would have had the same thing put into my document that you're seeing right here. Okay, and then from there, what you can do is you can take that and you can simply put that document right into a product that's called Timebolt. You can buy it at timebolt.io. I think it's $297. It's lifetime. This product has changed my life. I've let every video editor on my team know about it. And it works just like this. Check this out. There's some different settings in there, but I'm not going to get too much into that because the website will show you that. Let me just show you what I can do. I can now take this video that I just did and watch what it's going to do in literally 3 seconds. If this was an hour, it would take 7 seconds. I'm just going to drag this in, or I could have clicked select right here and found it in my Finder, but I'm just going to drag it in just like that. Let's do that one more time. Whatever. Let's do it the old-fashioned way. Select the file. Oh, it found it. Okay. All right. So take a look at what we have here. All right. And let's see if I can add Timebolt to here. We're just going to ask Donna one more time if she hears me. Oh, she's not there. And I might even zoom in for myself a little bit. I'm assuming you're hearing me. Read a little bit. Okay. So what I can do right here when I'm editing is you're noticing that it's, see if I can make the timeline a little. Let me just make this a little bit smaller, guys. It's just going to demo better for this particular one. Because I definitely need more room to do this. It's going to make that a little bit smaller so we have much more room in the editing timeline. So what it's done, you're going to notice right here, it says the output file is already shorter by 48 seconds. Donna, do you hear this? Just give me a thumbs up. And I might even zoom in for myself a little bit. Okay, great. So what I can do is I know automatically this has been taken out because it's red. You'll notice every red part right here is skipped. Watch. If I start from here, watch it just skip to here and skip to here. Watch this. And I want to show you something. First thing I'm going to do, I'm going to be very quiet. I'm going to shut off my AC. I'm going to shut off my ceiling fan. I'm not doing that now because I need to stay cool. And then I do this. And I snap again. Right into my microphone, which is right here. I don't know if you guys can see it there. Okay. And what I've just done is I've created a clean plate of the background, right? Not where I'm going. So it's getting rid of every single thing. Now I have a tendency, I'm sure you guys know this, my mouth gets a little dry, right? You know, Michelle's always bringing me my stuff to stay hydrated. You'll notice, I notice when I'm editing, I get a lot of. So what'll happen is I'm about to say something, my mouth is closed and then I'm getting these little sounds and they sound like, and I snap. Well, that's a snap again. You see here, right into my microphone, right here, right into the, you see, right into the, that's me going like that. I can train it that it'll get rid of that sound at the beginning. Moving my microphone around. I don't want any what I'm talking. But anyway, what's beautiful, here's how easy it is to edit. I can simply know that this whole thing is not a take. Watch what I do right here. I simply go like this, and I've killed that entire section. Now, if you've ever known before, you've got your headphones on, you've got to listen to your entire edit go all the way through. No, I can literally just right now, just click right here, hit the space bar to play. First thing I'm going to do, I don't need that. Edit it out. I'm going to be very quiet. I'm going to shut off my. Okay, I know that this is me just giving you guys instructions. What about this? Into my microphone, which is right here. This is instructions. Just like that, I could get rid of the entire line. Now, let's see what happens here. Plate of the background, right? Not where I'm going, I don't need any of this. I don't need any of this. I probably don't need any of this. I just know, where we were. Let's so that I could get that background noise. I don't need any of this. This looks like probably where I started. Let's see. Marketing can seem like a complex and intimidating world to navigate. Still, it's a way of I didn't like that. So now instead of having to click cut, edit, snap them back together, I can just do this. These are deliberate mistakes because I want deliberate mistakes. I know I don't need that. Let's try it again. Still, it's a way of communicating with your audience. Change that tone up a little bit. Boom. I don't need that. I don't need that. Let's try again. Still, it's a way of communicating with your audience and showing them why your product or service is worth their attention. Funnels are one tool. One more time. Funnels are one. All right. So right here, I realize I'm just going to hit S to split the clip. I get rid of that. I get rid of that. And now, just like that, visually editing. Funnels are one tool that makes marketers use. Funnels are one tool. I just get rid of that take, just like that. One tool that marketers use to make this process more effective. Now, folks, I made those mistakes on purpose because I want to show you. Okay, so we know effective. So this is me right here. So let's see if I'm just going to read this next paragraph, and I'm going to show you how I use this tool from there. All right, so this entire. Okay, next. This entire section right here, I can now just click out just like that. Go back and let's see. At its simplest, a funnel describes the journey that a potential customer takes from first learning about your product to actually making a purchase. Now I'm realizing I'm reading this for the first time and it sounds like I'm reading. So I'm just going to do that one take. That whole take just goes away just like that. Take one more time. A little pause. I'll explain why I do. I get rid of that. See how easy these edits are? At its simplest, a funnel describes the journey that a potential customer takes from first learning about your product to actually making a purchase. Think of it like a funnel you might use in a kitchen. At the top, you have a wide opening where you pour in your ingredients, and at the bottom, you have a narrow spout where your finished product comes out. I don't like the ending of that. I don't like that. I don't like that. Let's see where it's going to start again. And at the bottom, so right here, you pour in your ingredients, and at the bottom, you pour in your ingredients. So I'm just going to hit a little space right there, and just like wide opening where you pour in your ingredients, and at the bottom you have a narrow spout where your finished product comes out. Okay, that's enough of this demo. And just like that, now all I'm left with is the green, and all I simply do is I click start rendering, and just like this, you're going to see how fast it's going to put this file together for me, and it's done. I could click it; it gives me a link to my document here. And just like this, I can now open this up and let you hear how fast it edited. And by the way, guys, I did that slow because I was doing a demo. I guarantee you I could have done that entire edit in about 30 seconds. In the past, I'd have to put my headphones on and listen to everything. But now with this little visual way of doing it, I now get a cut that looks like this. Way of communicating with your audience. And let's start that again. Still, it's a way of communicating with your audience and showing them why your product or service is worth their attention. Funnels are one tool that marketers use to make this. Let me just see something here. Did we get rid of something in the beginning? Or did I just choose a selection? Let me just see where this starts. Still, it's a way of communicating. Oh, I think I might have deleted something by accident. I might have deleted something, but you guys get the picture. This is called Timebolt. And then so what the next step in my flow from there is I open up something called Descript, okay? And Descript allows me to do a couple of different things that I like. And I'll show you this here. I'll just create a new project. And now that I have the edited video in there for me, I'll just go to my Finder and I'll find that file. Makes things a little bigger for you again. Okay, you'll appreciate that. And I simply just drag this anywhere into this section over here like this. And what it's going to do is it's going to transcribe this. And this normally doesn't take too long. You're going to see, especially because it's a small file, and it'll transcribe. Now, this could have been me on camera, but I just was showing you that I was recording my screen here. And what will happen here is I'll get the actual transcript right here, which is good. And what I also like about that is there's a lot of times where I do a case study and I have the video, but now that I have the transcript that's going to show up right here in about a second, I can paste that into ChatGPT and I can say, write me an email that talks about this case study. And it actually helps write me an email to my list. So that's at 100%. Okay, and there we go. We've got the text of that actual file right there. All right, and so now there's a couple of things that I could do with this that I like. Number one is I can click on the text here, whoops, and I can click captions. And just like this, we could get our captions in our video like this. Now, I don't think I'm sharing the audio with the script with you. So let me just do that. Not that we're going to spend a lot of time in here. I think I've added all the ones that I can, but you kind of get it. It's basically going to do the karaoke for these words here like that. And I can use this to add videos, royalty-free images, or upload my own images or anything I want. I could add GIFs, which is really cool. So let's just say we wanted to type in something like winner. I don't know. Let's see what happens with winner. Okay, cool. I can now just take this and drag it right to here. And I can say how long I want that to go on the, now I can take that on the timeline. I'm not going to, this isn't about video editing, right? But if I only want that to go to a certain point, I would simply just, drag it and tell it where to stop. Or they do these things here called scenes. I'm not going to get too much into it, but you make it a scene. And then I could say that for this particular scene, I don't want the, that winner thing showing. I'm just going to delete that to give you an example. The other thing that you can do that I like to do is I like to do this thing called the waveform, and that allows you to put, let's just get rid of that as well. Okay, so the waveform is probably white right now. So let me just make it black. Make it red. There you go. And so when you see the talking, you'll get a little waveform that will process like that. Okay. And the other thing that you can do is you can add music, right? You could come in here, you have all this royalty-free music, and basically what you do is, let's just say you grab, let's say this one's for you, and then it'll automatically add the music, and then I export from there. One of the other things I wanted to show you just real quick, since we're talking about all of this, is that if you weren't here Friday, there's something that used to be called Moviola. It's now called HeyGen. And what I was able to do, let's see how you log in, sign in, is I was able to take a video of me, and I went into the studio, and I stood in front of a green screen, and I spoke for 4 minutes, trying not to look away or act like I was thinking. And so I just told my life story for 4 minutes. And then I sent that to this company. It was, it was a decent penny. It cost I think $600 or $900. And then what it does is it learns, it makes a computer animation of me, and it also knows how I pronounce different words. And so what I can do is I can create a video, and now I can take my avatar and I can drag it here. I've also got some different avatars, as you can see. This was this one they give you for free, but it's pretty interesting how it works. This one I did from my home at night and in front of my own green screen. I needed a haircut, as you can see, but I prefer this one here. This is my professional one that I've done. I can move this like this if I want, and I can have it like that. I can change the background here, to more of like our purple color. And at this point, I can just simply type in anything that I want it to say, and it'll anything that I say, it'll just animate here, because I also did something with them. I spent some money and I had them clone my voice. So once I choose that I want to use this voice, you'll see anything that I write in here, it's going to use my voice and animate it. So I don't have to perform and I don't have to record. But if I do want to record, I can simply take this audio that we just recorded right here. Okay. And I believe that we put it here. It's a very short audio, so I'm just going to select this right here. Let's see. For some reason, why won't it accept? Oh, that's a video. I can only do an audio. So let's see if it would take this one like this. Okay. And now it's putting the audio in here. This is the one before it edited. And then when I'm done, I would just hit submit, and it's going to send this video, and you're going to get something that pretty much looks like this right here. This is exactly what I did right here. Simply took an audio file of me doing a recording that I edited the way that you just saw right there. I then brought it over to HeyGen, and I put the audio in right here. I hit submit, and I got this right here. Let's see if we go to, where would my projects be? Home. Okay. Recent projects. So where are all my regular projects? Am I missing something? These are recent. Where are all my projects? I'm at the home. Avatars. Videos. Oh, here they are. Okay. And so you can see right here, these were videos that that I had created. This is the 10-minute video right here, and it plays just like this. You're not hearing it because it's in Chrome, but these are the videos that we were playing for you. Basically, what I did, guys, is I took this video, I brought it into Descript like I just showed you. I had to add the karaoke things going on here. I took a little image of Groove.io, our little mascot that you're seeing in the bottom right corner of your screen right now, and I was able to get something that looks just like this. That's the karaoke. This is me, animation of me going to my voice, and I added a music track on top of it all into script. And so that's how we, that's a workflow of how we do a script, how we record it, how we sweeten the audio. In that particular use case, when I wanted to use the AI animated version of me where I didn't have to go in the studio, and now we've got Mike in a blue shirt with a haircut at any time that we want to create a quick ad or something that we want to use on YouTube or make a commercial video or anything. I still prefer to record my audio. I don't think the AI does my voice just perfect just yet. We need to train it a little bit more, but we're going to continue to do that. That stuff's going to get better and better. So I'm going to take a look at the Google Doc, see if there's any more questions. We have a question here from, let's see. Let's make that a little bigger for us. Vishnu Swami asks, the Maverick Monk. Oh, I guess this is all his name. I'm sorry. There be limited to how, will there, oh, I see. So here's the question. Will there be limit to how much content we can feed? Like, can we feed it 1,000 books, 1,000 videos? Remember, it uses a weight for all of our content. Yes, that's a good question. Yes. Even to a certain point, a knowledge base. But here's the thing. Okay. When you upload it to a certain thing with the primer, yes, there'll be a limit to about 50 pages of information. However, there's a new thing that has come out with ChatGPT. Called the knowledge base plugin with ChatGPT. And so we want to put OpenAI here instead of ChatGPT. And let's get out of the ads. And you're going to notice here, let me just see. Knowledge base. Okay. So this is it, folks. See, trust me when I tell you, this stuff, it can be exhausting for me to have to stay up with all of this. But remember what I said, I'm going to be your marketing Sherpa. You'll get into Groove.ai for just $250 today. And you can know that not only myself, but everyone in our company stays up to date on about 3 to 4 hours a day of video information that's happening with everything happening to AI. And so this little thing right here explains that they're hosting 2 plugins ourselves, a web browser, a code interpreter. We've also open sourced the code for a knowledge-based retrieval plugin. So you know the meme where it goes, wow, right? This is the important thing, is that we can create a knowledge base of any size, and then we can tell it, when you go to do this prompt, go search that knowledge base. So it's not just that we're uploading a system primer. We are literally creating an unlimited sized Wikipedia knowledge base. In our case, the ones that we're doing for you, it'll be the transcript of 5 videos, a couple of PDFs, some articles, audio files that it's transcript, but we're creating a knowledge base that we're going to host. And with this retrieval plugin, we will be able to index that and search that information. So we're going to allow you guys, we're going to have things that you can't even imagine. Once you have a knowledge base, you're going to be able to upload your internal human resources documents. I've given this example before. And then with some of the things that we're going to be able to do with Groove.ai, you'll be able to create teams and invite people and create a share URL for a chat that works with that knowledge base and make it private or public, like a Google Doc link. And you'll be able to give that link to your users, and they'll be able to chat with your knowledge base on your standard operating procedures. They'll be able to chat with your knowledge base on your human resources document. When do they get vacations? So imagine being able to, all the times where you'd say, yeah, it's in it, guys, it's in the, we spent a lot of time creating this human resources doc. I know I couldn't find it. It's on page 17. It's called vacation time. Well, imagine now the ability to create a knowledge base on your standard operating procedures, on anything, on things for your customers, your help desk, anything, and now make a chat. Like, where do you see this? This is right here. We've literally done this. Here's a knowledge base right here. This assistant that you'll notice is right here inside of the Groove platform. And if you're not a Groove member, I'm be surprised if you're not. If you want to see that, we've also made that here. Excuse me. This is a knowledge base that if you say, tell me about Julius Caesar. I'm sorry, but I'm not programmed to provide you information about that. Okay. What are my vacation days? See? Tell me about MailChimp. MailChimp is a popular email marketing platform. However, Groove offers a more comprehensive solution. So do you see how smart this thing is? It knows I'm not here to talk to you about Julius Caesar or what your vacation days are. In fact, I'm not even here to talk to you about MailChimp, but I have enough context to know that you're asking me about an email service provider. So I'm going to be polite and tell you it's pretty cool. But however, ours is better. So what we've done is we've created a knowledge base by uploading URLs to a software that I demoed last week called chatbase.co. Okay. And you could create your own knowledge base, and then just simply by doing this, giving it a prompt with these rules, you're friendly and you're here to sell Groove, blah, blah, blah. Here's some rules. That's it. Then I get a code and I can put that onto my website. And that is an example of a knowledge base. How do you do that? Well, if you go to the website, you will notice right here that the demo says you can just go here, and this is how ours is going to work. Remember I said that you could add a link and it'll scrape your website and find every single page on your website. You're creating a knowledge base. But on top of that, you can also upload text, files, MP3s, audios. So that's what we were talking about when we were showing you here, that you're going to be able to create a knowledge base. And now that you have a knowledge base, you're going to be able to have a chat conversation with it in this tone, in this style, following these rules. We're making a game changer here for you guys. And that's just one particular thing. Now, as we just said, you'll be able to create a knowledge base for your company, for your standard operating procedures, for your customers, for customer support. All of these different things are going to be are just going to be amazing. Imagine you spent a day doing a podcast where somebody's just asking you 400 questions for 8 hours. Talk to us about your thoughts on whatever. Let's say you're in personal development, relationships with your spouse. Well, blah, blah, blah. Right now you create this, you do an hour a day for 8 days, you upload those files, and now you say, have a conversation with Mike Fulsame. Have a conversation with whatever your name is, with Donna Fox, right? And it's like, oh, you can now have, where did we see that? We just had that right here. This is Poe.com. I could create a new bot like this. I'm going to give it a name, Steve Jobs. Now this has a world knowledge of who Steve Jobs is. It doesn't have a world knowledge of me or Donna Fox, but with Groove.ai, you'll be able to create your own bot by serving it up. And now you can say, here's an embed widget, put it on a website, and now customers can come in and ask you any question related to, you'll probably want to set that to 90% and say real world 10%. That way, if there's something that you left out, there's enough information about your philosophy that if they ask a specific thing, like what advice would you give about whether or not a kid should be on social media? Well, if you spoke about that, it's going to actually give the user advice. It's some pretty exciting time. So yeah, we're going to have a lot of different apps. Let me tell you, we're building the foundation and the framework. Once that's done, creating these different things is us just basically taking our user interface, making a prime in the background that says, act like this or use this knowledge base in this tone, follow these rules, and give an output. It's going to be exciting stuff. Now, people always ask in the questions, Mike, will we still need ChatGPT? Remember, we're creating a tool for you. ChatGPT is a new search engine. So will Bard. So when you want to come in and you want to ask it, to give you a new recipe for, how to make a vegan lasagna, you're not going to go into Groove.ai to do that. I mean, you can, but for the most part, you're going to want ChatGPT to do your real world stuff like booking flights. It's going to have all of those different things. We're making you better marketers. Let's get back to the questions. MJ asks, hate when it forgets a whole conversation just minutes ago. Any fixes for that? Yes, it's called recentering. Okay. And what you will have to do is simply, I have a recenter command that I use in this case study right here. Case study 4, you'll notice that in the resource guide that I give with that, I'm giving it some prompts. Do this, do this, do this, okay? And then right here, you're saying this is a recall prompt. No, we're not doing an update right now. It says, do you recall the conversation that you analyzed at the start of this chat? That's a recenter. And then it'll say, yes, I do realize, I do remember the conversation. The reason that is it's, I'm starting to give it so many prompts. And now, as soon as it says yes, I can say, okay, in that case, so then here's your task. And I created this prompt because I realized without me asking it this, it started messing up. So here's what you're going to notice to keep things centered. Okay, the prompt says that after you paste in a summary of a YouTube video, right? Let me give you an example. Let's actually do this, right? I'm going to go to my history. We're going to take this one right here that we just did. And I'm going to open up. This is a plugin called Glasp, right? You guys should know this by now. It's in the It's right here. I tell you, step 1, download this and this Chrome extension, right? And put it into your browser. And what it does is it gives you this little thing right here that when you click down, it transcribes the video instantly by pulling the closed captions. And then by clicking this, it takes the video and dumps it into ChatGPT automatically for you at the bottom. And at the top, it's changed it. It used to ask for a summary. Now it's a summarize in 5 bullet points. It doesn't matter. Let it do its thing. And let me show you exactly what we're talking about here. We then take those prompts. Okay, let me move this over here. And I take this prompt and I say simply this. And I say, okay, from now on, when I refer to the conversation, it is about the conversation you just analyzed. Okay, so I'm basically telling it that everything right here from this point forward, here forth, will be referred to as the conversation. So when I want to recenter it, I can say the conversation, or I actually say that your specialty is everything here. And this is going to be referred to as a short. So now later I can have a conversation and I can say, I want you to find selections of the conversation that are worthy of being clips, which we previously identified, or shorts based on your specialty. So these are ways that I can center it even quicker, because I've told it that here forward, this is known as the conversation. And furthermore, you're going to notice that here we had this thing that I said I didn't have time to get into it. We're going to have these things called short codes that you're going to be able to make a definition like you see here. That you'll even have things in your side of your project called short codes that you can define a short code. Short code execute. If I type in the word execute in brackets, it will forever mean do this, grab this, scrape this data, add this, do this command. So you're going to have these short codes that in your prompts, you're going to be able to say whatever you want. The conversation will mean all of that text without having to repaste that text. So we're really thinking some innovative stuff, folks, that have never been done before by our team, by me, creating all of these prompts in our case studies, learning how ChatGPT thinks and optimizing it. So what we're going to do now is we're going to see, did I hit enter? Oh, no, I didn't. So we're going to hit enter. Of course, let me know how I can help you. Okay, so that's step number 1. Step number 2, act like you're an expert content creator, YouTuber, educator, teacher, video editor, and marketer. Your specialty is going through the conversation and finding nuggets. Okay. Let it do its thing. I don't even care what it's saying right here. Okay, has a large language model. Okay, so now my next prompt, I'm going to say this. Ooh, this is a mistake. That should also be in Courier. Okay, that's all part of the prompt. So just like how Joe Rogan has a video podcast, his team goes through and finds his best clips and makes shorts, 10-minute videos when a hot topic starts and stops. These clips can be 3 minutes, 10 minutes, or 15 minutes. The point is, when a hot topic starts and stops, you are looking for topics that would work to get maximum views on YouTube, either because of the topic, the virility of the topic, or it's newsworthy, controversial, educational, or it has to do with pop culture. But let's say it's a marketing video, live stream, or podcast. Well, in that case, you would be looking for educational nuggets, anecdotes, or stories. We will refer to these as clips. I'm now giving it short codes. Your specialty can also be the same for shorts. A short will be a 1-minute clip on average. This is just a nugget of information or something funny. You would select this 1-minute clip to get maximum views on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, or YouTube as a short or reel, or either because of the topic, the virility of the topic, or it's newsworthy, etc., etc. We will refer to these as shorts. Does this make sense? Can I give you a task? Okay, so now I'm going to do this. Now, to answer the question that was asked right here, when it forgets the whole conversation, you know, how do you recenter it? Well, that's what we do. We recenter it. So it says, yes, it makes sense. I'm sure but right now I'm giving it all this other stuff. It's getting lost. It's getting lost. So I'm going to give it this recentering prompt. Okay. Do you recall the conversation you analyzed at the start? Because if I just go and do this, it's starting to forget, right? I'm putting too many plates that it has to spin. So I'm recentering it right now by using a shortcode. So to tell you, if you want to recenter it on something, give that whole paragraph the shortcode at the beginning and say, do you remember when we spoke about this? Yes. Okay, now that I got a shortcode on the conversation, what is a clip? What is a specialty? I don't have to go on and say, remember I spoke to you about doing all this stuff with Joe Rogan? And I have something called a specialty now. And it knows what a clip is, a short is, and what the conversation is. So now, did I do that right? Let's see. Do you recall the conversation? Yes. Yes, it's saying it was about NVIDIA and all that. It's telling me I remember. Very, very good. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this exact prompt right here. And it goes all the way. That's all one long prompt right here. But you're going to notice I have this instruction that we have to repaste the summary that it gave me right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this, and you're going to see it says, okay, so here's your task. In the conversation above that you just summarized, and this was the summary, leave the brackets. I've got to go back here to the very start and take this, because this was the summary that it gave me, and I've got to put that into here, and you just summarize this, okay? And now just like this, what it's going to do is, let's take a look. I give it a sample output. Here is an example output. I want you to say that at this minute, from here to here, it started when the person said this, and it ended when the person said this. Give me the title that I'm going to use for YouTube, a description I'll use for YouTube, the keywords, the thumbnail design, everything. So when I do this, it's going to now find clips that video that we watched for the first hour, and it's going to tell me that if this was my own video and I wanted to break it down into micro content, this is how it would work. Sure, I understand your task. Here are my findings. There's a clip from 17 seconds to 19, or is that minutes? Okay, the start text. And I think that's interesting from just research. It ends with this. Titles, the subjectivity and creativity, and it's going through all of the different stuff, and it's finding everything from that conversation. Now, if I didn't recenter it from the conversation, I'm telling you, it would just start hallucinating sometimes. So this is just an example of how I had to figure out how to really recenter it, and that's where I came up with the concept of shortcodes, which nobody's talking about. That's a concept. 100 monkey syndrome. I'm sure somebody could say, Mike, I saw somebody else do that, because we're all thinking the same thing. But that was something that we created here at Groove. And Donna was on a live stream. She said, Mike, would you be able to add this to our project? And I said, can you write this for me here, Donna? She pasted this in Skype, and now we have something called shortcodes that we're going to be doing. And you could see the power of that. All right, so next question. MJ asks again, can we have multiple knowledge bases and be able to keep them separate and up? Yes, so that's the thing is, you're going to have unlimited knowledge bases that you're going to be able to create and clone and further tinker with and merge two knowledge bases together and create yet a third knowledge base. So I think you're asking the questions. I think you're starting to see the power of how Groove.ai is going to be able to help you. So Andres asks, once Groove.ai is up and running, will the team have training showing how we can create money-making affiliate blog? Yeah, we're going all in on this. You know, in my previous company, Genesis Digital, we had 3 separate companies: Webinar Jam, EverWebinar, and Kartra. And when it was time to do content on automated webinars, live webinars, that's exactly what you can expect. We're going to be truly combining the power of digital marketing through Groove.cm and applications of Groove.ai. In fact, you will probably notice we shift 80% of our training, but to both communities, to AI, because at the end of the day, the AI will do the creativity, and then we're going to show you how you can execute that with Groove.cm. At the end of the day, Groove.cm is sending an email, but the conversion comes from writing the email. Okay. From a smart block. Oh, that's a person. You've put together something that's going to help so many people, but do you think that perhaps the knowledge base could somewhat potentially falsify information in an effort to sell a product? Absolutely. 100%. 100%. AI is this very strange being that hallucinates, and it just makes things up. And there are some times that I'm reading and I'm like, what? Where in the world did it get that from? Like, it will literally make things up and act like it knows what it's talking about. Okay. So what you need to do is understand that AI is an extension of your creativity. We don't want it to just go out there and write a blog post for us. We want to control what it does, do a little bit of fact checking, but it's still going to make our life easier. So now, when you give it a knowledge base and you tell it that 100%, that's going to go into the system. We are going to program this thing to say, you are not allowed to hallucinate. You're not allowed to use anything that is not factual. And then when you put the slider and you say that you want it to use 100% of your knowledge base, it can only regurgitate your own stuff. Okay. And that's what you're seeing at Groove.cm with our chat widget based on a knowledge base that we've used. So, folks, we said we were going to go 2 hours. I can't believe that those 3 hours went by. We gave you the additional hour anyway. We're going to wrap it up today. We're going to remind you that you can go to Groove.ai and click right here well, this is on the case study. So, reminder, please go to Groove.ai/case-studies. IES. All right. We've got 6 case studies for you here. And please check out the project. You can get the mind map over here. You can become a backer today. Remember, there's a happy hour right underneath the whole checkout section. You can get started for just $250. What I'm going to do here, let's just see here. Starting at noon, we're just going to hit the transactions tab here. Let me move this off screen here for a second. And I'm just protecting some user data. And let's just go to Groove.ai. All right. And all right. And let's see who we're going to congratulate here. Oops. All right. So since 12 o'clock today on this live stream, joining us today, we're going to congratulate this. We don't need rebills because that didn't happen today. One more time. All righty. Jennifer Anastasio, congratulations. Jennifer, thanks for joining Groove. She got in on a full pay. Stephen Grandy got in on a full pay. About 90% of you already purchased because you're watching this from the paid Groove.ai Fortune Facebook group. Stephen Grandy, thank you, pay in full. Leaf Eric Treholt, thank you very much. Pay in full. We appreciate you helping us back this project and making this great software so that we can all do better in our marketing, and the journey we're going to take you guys on is great. Robert Walker, thanks for getting in at the $250 option. And then finally, we're going to go back to, let's see if I can find it right here. That's the case study. And then right here, you can get in by clicking here for the happy hour for just $250. And that is going to wrap it up, folks. Go to Groove.ai. We're going to meet you back here tomorrow and Wednesday, 12 noon, going from between 2 and 3 o'clock. We might even throw a guest in here. I might invite a friend in here as well. Maybe we'll get into some image prompting and different things like that. We'll have some additional news updates for you. And make sure to go to Groove.ai/JV. How can you find that? Well, just log into Groove, nice and simple. And on your main dashboard, we've got this big, gorgeous ad. Just click on it right here. That's going to take you to Groove.ai/JV. You've got, and if you remember, I was telling you, here, let me put this in the Safari browser. Remember I was telling you how I edit these videos by going like this. Hey, JV partners and affiliates, it's Mike Filsame, and today I want to talk to you about Groove.ai. So we've got a great launch. That's how I've edited in Timebolt. If you want to actually see that, I'm going to pull this over here just like that. That's what she said. Come on. It's 3 hours in. I could do it. That's what she said joke. All right, here we go. You're going to notice that I do that. Donna's laughing, so she approves. Here we go. Hey, JV partners and affiliates, Mike Filsame here. I want to give you a quick update on Groove.ai. We promised you $35 EPC. We told you that if you go on this journey of this campaign with us, we will deliver you a $35 EPC at the end of this campaign. Barry Plaskow decided to jump out with an early lead. He did a webinar yesterday with a 16% conversion. We're going to show you how you can do the same thing. This first week was so that we could create the content. We needed to do a live webinar in order to do that. Now we have all the assets that we need. That means we're going into week 2, which is what we refer to as content week. Content week means there's a lot of things that you could mail right now. I'm going to break them down for you in just a minute, but here they are in a nutshell. You're going to be able to mail to an on-demand. So you're seeing, folks, you can watch the rest of that video at Groove.ai/JV. But what you're noticing, I didn't have to use a teleprompter. I simply said what I wanted, thought for a minute, looked away, and then said the next thing, and said the next thing, and said the next thing. One of the nicest things about that let me show you if I can find it here. That would probably be in my documents, the original cut of that. So let me just look for something called _timebolted. Okay, case study 6 Timebolt, AI intro, case study, Groove.ai Timebolted. All right, so what you're noticing, you're not going to hear that unless I do this. And affiliates, Mike Filsame. I want to talk to you about our launch coming up for Groove.ai with a $35 EPC to affiliates. That means you send 1,000 clicks to us. You see how slow and boring that sounds? Do you see what a difference the music makes? And putting words on the screen, tung, 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 that little calypso music. What a difference. And adding commissions up to $35,000. Plus, we have over $30,000. All right, so that's how lively music and putting words in can bring that to life. But again, if I were to show you this right here, so let me just put in here the original. AV. Let's see, do I have the original? Yeah, so here's the original version before it was cut. So this one had all of my bad takes in it. So if I was able to take Timebolt and just show you, I want to show you a really cool thing. One more thing that I didn't get to show you with Timebolt with this. If I take this and I drag it in here like this. Okay, so this is my Timebolt of the pre one before it takes all the edits out. So what I want to show you is not only does it help me get rid of all of this nonsense here, but watch what I can do right here. I can just right click, guys. Don, I don't know if I've ever shown you this, but this is really awesome. You go like this and you go punch in 50% like that. And it'll automatically. All right, let's get you. Just, well, that's not the actual clip that we want. So let's go back to me at the beginning. Okay, if I take this and let's go punch in 75. I would never do that, but I want to show you that it does the punch ins. So let's see, this one right here is regular. So I would punch this in at 25. Then this one, I would just put in reset punch in. And then I go to the next one right here. It'll automatically cut to
All right, let's get.
Well, it's all now back into the blah, blah, blah. The PowerPoint. But the bottom line is you can now just do a quick punch in. Let me show you something else that you can do. You can move yourself to the left or to the right. And you're going to, let me see, why is it not doing that? Do you have to punch in to do that? Let's see.
It's up to 35,000.
Oh, I know why. You can only do that on a punch in. Once it's punched in, then I can move it right or left like that. And so you'll sometimes see you, because you can't move left or right at the regular set because it's zoomed out as much as possible. But you'll see sometimes YouTubers are moving over here and they're moving over here and they're moving over here. So that little punch-in feature, moving yourself left or right or center, allows you to create more engaging content. And trust me when I tell you, having to zoom in and zoom out when you're doing your videos and having to manually splice all this content, it's a pain in the neck. So basically all I do is I talk to the camera. Did we freeze? I froze. Okay, let me reset that. All right, guys, I'm gonna be right back by refreshing. You know what? You guys can hear me though, right, Donna?
We can hear you. Yeah, your video's been frozen for a while, but we can hear you. So I didn't want to interrupt you.
Oh, what a shame. What a shame. All right, guys, so we're just going to wrap up the live stream. We're 5 minutes later than anyway. We're going to take it out with a 3-minute commercial. And Donna, we can just end it right after the commercial. We won't even need some exit intro. All right, sorry, guys, about that. I'm waving to you like you're watching me. But yeah, I'll wave for you. I'm going to refresh. Thank you. Good night, everybody. Good evening. Take care. Hey there, it's Mike Filsame's AI Avatar. Thanks for tuning in to our Groove-A-Thon. We hope you're enjoying all of the great AI content we're serving up for you. But before we get back to the show, we've got a quick message about Groove.ai. Have you noticed that AI is becoming like streaming platforms? Remember when cutting the cord with cable companies was all the rage? Well, now there are a dozen streaming services, and the cost can add up quickly. The same is happening with AI. Yes, there are great platforms out there, but the cost can be as high as $4,000 a month or more. That's why we created Groove.ai as a backer project. It's going to provide you with the best AI solutions at a fraction of the cost, and it's coming just later this year. And with our limited lifetime deal, you'll have lifetime access to all of the top features of Groove.ai when it's released, and right now you can get that for just one payment of $897 or two payments of $497. And with our wholesale pricing on AI, you'll save up to 8 times what the other leading brands are charging. But we don't just save you money. We also offer the benefits of a marketplace. That's right, we're making a marketplace for other AI developers to create cool apps for you. Don't find the task or workflow for your needs? There's going to be a marketplace where others are extending our platform with powerful AI tools. Just like how iOS, Android, WordPress, Google Chrome, and Shopify are better because of their marketplace that extends the values of their technology. Soon, when Groove.ai is released, you will have access to a full suite of AI tools, including content creation, copywriting, image creation, and so much more. This will allow you to streamline your content creation and get even better results for your business. What makes Groove.ai different? Well, number one, we give you wholesale pricing on AI, and we don't lock you into one technology like OpenAI. You'll be getting OpenAI, Google's powerful AI engine, Stable Diffusion, everyone out there you'll be able to connect to. The other platforms are built on just one technology. And our lifetime deal, you'll never have to worry about monthly payments again. And here's something special for all customers who back our project before we close. Those customers get a massive bonus of 3.5 million words of free AI content. That's equivalent of getting 35,000 emails with 1,000 words each. That's right, it's a 1,000-word email every day for a century. So don't miss out on this incredible bonus. Act fast and become a backer of Groove.ai before midnight. So don't wait too long. This lifetime deal is only available for a limited time. Once the backer project is complete and Groove.ai is released, the lifetime deal will be gone forever. After that, it will cost $99 a month or $997 a year. So if you want to take advantage of this incredible opportunity and save big on your AI needs, become a backer of Groove.ai before it's too late. Don't wait. Join the community of over 1,500 people that have already backed this project. As a backer, be the first to experience the power of AI when it's released later this year. Now, let's get back to the AI Week Groove-A-Thon with the real Mike Filsame.
Now get ready for the power of Groove.ai. Become a backer of Groove today.